Robert Morris has played great. They've really battled these guys and had a chance deep into the second half here. But back to Vanderbilt, what was most impressive to you about the way this team of guys who really hadn't played together got together last summer, and they've grown and made it to a point here?
My thing is all about what a privilege to be here. I'll never take for granted the opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament for our guys, to coach in it. It's a blessing. It's something you work. I know a lot of us were just talking the last few days. It's something you watch growing up as a kid. And
Duke coach John Shire getting set for the NCAA tournament opener for his 2025 Blue Devils. Of course, an NCAA champion as a player his senior year in 2010. An NCAA champion as an assistant coach for Coach K in 2015. And now as the head coach in his third year and his third straight NCAA tournament. His team lost in the second round his first year and got to the Elite Eight last year. And they have designs on going as far as that and more if they can this year as this tournament gets underway. And this tournament for you is going to be brought to you by Harris Teeter, where Blue Devil fans shop for groceries. The coach on the other side, Donnie Lind, is in his first year as a head coach with Mount St. Mary's. His team beat American on Wednesday night to get here. They scored 40 points in the paint in that contest, a big reason why they won. But he's not so sure they're going to be able to find that many paint touches in this game against the Blue Devils.
Their size and athleticism jumps off the page when you watch them. Certainly they protect the rim defensively as good as anybody in the country, if not better. And so, scoring around the rim is super important for any team. If we're going to score enough points to win, we're going to have to get some baskets around the rim. And so, with their length and shot blocking, we're going to have to find ways to still get to the rim and score. And then their perimeter playmaking, they make shots at a high level. They've got big, long guards that are physically bigger and stronger than some of our guys. So we're going to have to be tough. We're going to have to be resilient. We're going to have to be the team that we've been for the last month, but at a pretty high level.
Mount St. Mary's coach Donnie Lind getting set to lead his Mountaineers against the Duke Blue Devils. A game brought to you by Valero. It's the fuel you need and the snacks you want, all at Valero. Download the Valero Pay Plus app to enjoy rewards and save on fill-ups. Stay with us as we head toward a 3:09 tip-off. We're counting down here on the Reach Jewelers Countdown to Tip-Off.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel Battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
The passion, the excitement, the tradition. This is Duke basketball from Learfield.
Zero sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Play ball! It's college baseball season, and we're here to talk about it.
Every week, join Kyle Schasberger and me, David Kahn, as we deliver the best of college baseball.
We've got all the diamond talk you can imagine, with interviews from coaches, players, broadcasters, and more.
Plus, we'll give you our weekly rankings, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
Step into the batter's box and let us deliver our best fastball.
Wherever you podcast by searching College Sports Now.
Man, I love this group. We got a lot more we want to accomplish.
Got it to go. Kong block, got it blocked.
We're learning day by day, even months into the season. We're still learning about ourselves.
We know this thing is fragile, and we're going to have to move on quickly.
Off the window. Counted it a foul. Got it blocked. Stone cold.
Stay the course, stay poised, and stay together.
My goodness. Come on, taking over. Proctor at 3. Bang!
I think just the amount of grit we showed, the togetherness we showed, I mean, we just shown the world how good we really are.
It's awesome, but we're expecting another one here.
After a dominant run through the ACC, the Blue Devils arrive in the NCAA tournament, having already stacked up 31 wins, an outright ACC regular season title, and the program's 23rd ACC tournament title. But 6 days removed from that magical run in Charlotte, all of that has certainly drifted into the background as Jon Scheyer's group is set to open play in the Big Dance in search of the program's 6th national title. Much is made this time of year about the road to the Final Four, and in Duke's case, it's a phrase that can be taken literally. 22 miles. That's the entirety of the ground the Blue Devils had to cover as they made their way to Raleigh, a familiar trek down Interstate 40 for a dance they're hoping ends on a Monday night in San Antonio. Up first, Mount St. Mary's, champions of the MAAC. The Mountaineers used an offensive explosion to blow past American in the first 4 on Wednesday night, setting the stage for the first meeting between these two as the Blue Devils set sail in the NCAA tournament for the 47th time. It's Duke and Mount St. Mary's, and off we go from Raleigh.
On the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield, you are listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Blue Devil basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. They say Coke Zero is irresistibly tasty. Does that make it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. Reed's Jewelers, your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. Reed's Jewelers, trusted with life's moments. By the Hilton Garden Inn, your home base near Duke University. Duke Health. Duke Health doctors are the official team doctors for Duke Athletics. Learn more at dukehealth.org. And by the Washington Duke Inn, honoring tradition over trend for over 30 years. Still ahead, keys to victory, starting lineups, and the opening tip. This is Duke basketball from Learfield.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach Jon Scheyer. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
Hey Duke fans, we want you to choose different and choose fun with Hi-Chew, the immensely fruity, intensely chewy candy that leaves your mouth watering with over 30 true-to-life flavors. Hi-Chew is available in sticks, peg bags, stand-up pouches, and unwrapped bites for when you're on the go. Head to your local grocery or convenience store to grab a bag, or search hichew.com to find Hi-Chew candy near you. That's hi-chew.com.
For the latest in news, notes, and special content, head to GoDuke.com. This is the Blue Devils Sports Network from Learfield.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at Two Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at twomenandatruck.com.
inching you closer to tip-off. It's time to go inside the Duke locker room with head coach John Shire, presented by Duke Health. Duke Health doctors are the official team doctors for Duke Athletics. Learn more at dukehealth.org. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Blue Devils, David Shoemate.
Duke and Mount St. Mary's here this afternoon, and Coach, it's one of the most anticipated weeks of the season, but imagine one of the longer waits as you guys have had about a full week to get ready. How's the work going getting ready?
Well, it's going great. We're excited. Our guys have worked hard, and we had to get back healthy with playing 3 games in 3 days, but we're ready to go, and the preparation has been really helpful for us.
You mentioned getting healthy for the guys that played and one who didn't. Cooper Flagg, you announced yesterday, is going to be able to go for this game. How has his prep gone as he's worked his way back?
Yeah, Cooper's had to be on his own path this week, and he's done a great job working with our medical team and working especially with Coach Carrawell before and after practices with individual work. And, he's just been he's been itching, and, the most important thing is he's moving the right way. He doesn't have pain. He just is going to play in a game for the first time in over a week.
With both he and Malik being out last week, I know you said it opened up opportunities for others. I want to talk about the guys inside, particularly Patrick Gungbo and what you saw from him in the ACC tournament.
Well, Pat, I thought he had a great competitive spirit about him. He really defended and protected the basket. He talked. He just had a great way about him. He's smart. He's not afraid of the moment, and he really came through in some of the biggest moments we've had really all year.
Talk about Mount St. Mary's a little bit. Any team you face this time of year, one thing they've generally won their championship in their conference. Obviously, they've been a really good defensive team throughout the year, but they put up 83 against American. What have you seen from them?
Yeah, well, in that game against American, they had 40 points in the paint. They also hit 9 threes in addition, but they can be disruptive on defense. You have to really play to your fundamentals and habits. And then, with their offense, they're not afraid of pushing the ball. So you need to get back, sprint in transition, make them a half-court team. And then they have great hands coming up with 50-50 balls, and so finishing plays is incredibly important.
Cordelia and Adebayo combined for 44 in that game against American. They obviously shot a really high percentage. What did you see from those two guys?
Well, those two guys are ball friendly. They can put the ball on the floor. They're relentless attacking the basket, and both guys can really offensive rebound, so we need to keep them off the glass.
And finally, Coach, I'll let you go on this. Obviously, everyone loves the tournament, what comes with it. In many respects, it's bigger than life. That's what makes it special. How do you boil it down, though, to the game that you guys are playing here today and focus in on just one opponent?
Well, we talk about doing the simple things really well and finishing what's right in front of you. And what's right in front of us is Mount St. Mary's. That's all that's on our mind. And we want to go into this game, and we're going to win by not trying to recreate who we are. We're going to do it by doubling down on all the simple things we've done really well the whole year, and that's our mindset for tonight.
All right, Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Thanks a lot, Shoemate.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero at your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You're listening to Duke Basketball in the NCAA Tournament. We'll have more from the Lenovo Center after this local timeout.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. And that ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
And welcome back to Raleigh. We're set to roll with the Blue Devils in the NCAA tournament for the 47th time. They, of course, are the 1 seed in the East region in their first-round matchups. 32-3 all-time, 14-0 as the 1 seed. David Schumann alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Kyle Schatzberger back inside our network studios. John Roth, enough talk. Imagine the guys are ready to go.
They have to be ready to go. This is what they've been working for since they started coming together last summer in all their preseason workouts through the fall, through all the games this winter. This is the one thing that's been on their mind the entire time. Let's see if we can win a championship. It starts right here.
The Blue Devils a 1 seed for the 15th time in program history. The road to San Antonio begins when you come back to Raleigh.
Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. You can't control other motorists, but you can control how you operate your vehicle. Avoid distractions while driving, like texting or checking social media. Brought to you by Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/GoDuke.
For more information, find your local independent insurance agent at insure-agent.com.
This season, Duke basketball has teamed up with Duke Children's for the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Thanks to 605 Hoops Heroes, over $19,000 has already been raised for the kids at Duke Children's. Fans, it's not too late to join our team and show your support. Give your $25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159. That's 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Duke, Mount St. Mary's. We'll have more from the Lenovo Center after this local timeout.
Hey Duke fans, want to enhance your game day experience? Poetry Finance, official digital banking partner of Duke Athletics, is here to help. With Poetry, managing your finances is a breeze. Just download the Poetry app to discover how Poetry Finance can help you. Poetry Finance. Write your own future. Start now. Financial tools for everyone. Let us help you get started at poetryfinance.com. That's poetryfinance.com.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at 2 Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable. We can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at 2menandatruck.com.
Duke and Mount St. Mary's coming up, part of the East region in Raleigh. NCAA Tournament Round 1 action moments away. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves. This is Blue Devil basketball from Learfield. Kyle Schatzberger with you inside Studio 21. I'll be back with updates across the NCAA tournament throughout. But now let's go back inside the Lenovo Center in Raleigh with John Roth and engineer John Rose. Here's the voice of the Blue Devils, David Shoemate.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Let's dive right into our starting lineups. It's a 116 matchup in the East region this afternoon. We'll begin with the 16 seed Mount St. Mary's, the Mountaineers in the NCAA tournament for the 7th time in program history, champions of the MAAC League. They beat Iona in their title game 63-49. Also one of the first 4 on Wednesday night, besting American 83-72, a game that saw them shoot better than 57% from the field. They'll use the same starting 5 here this afternoon. At the point will be number 45, Xavier Lipscomb. He's a graduate student of guard, 6'2", 195 out of Washington, D.C., already with 153 assists on the season. Number 8 is Dallas Hobbs, a sophomore guard, 6'1", 175 out of Dallas, Texas. His last 2, he's been averaging better than 17.5 per game. On the season, he's just shy of 13. Number 23 is Javon Irvin, junior guard, 6'3", 200-pounder out of Tacoma, Washington. He's a transfer from Peninsula College, been in double figures 6 times this year. Number 4 is Dola Adebayo, redshirt junior forward, 6'8", 210 out of Fort Myers, Florida. During the postseason, he's been averaging nearly 16 points and nearly 7 rebounds per game. And rounding out the starting 5 is number 14, J.D. Cordelia, the senior forward, 6'9", 210 out of Tilburg, out of the Netherlands. Tied his career high with 22 points in the win over American. He's shooting 59% this year, and in his career, the best mark in program history at Mount St. Mary's. Donnie Lind is the head coach in his first season for the Mounts. His assistants are Keith Chelsea, Dave Maturo, and Jeremy Freeman. Meanwhile, the Blue Devils 31-3. They've won 11 in a row, including an ACC title on Saturday night, 73-62. But a tweak to the starting lineup here this afternoon as Cooper is back.
Tyrese Proctor, guard, junior, Sydney, Australia.
Con Knipple, wing, freshman, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Sion James, guard, graduate student from Sugar Hill, Georgia. Cooper Flagg, small forward, freshman, Newport, Maine.
Kaman Madid Malwaj, I'm a center, freshman, and I'm from South Sudan, Rumbek.
And those 5 will hit the floor for head coach Sean Shire in his 3rd season. The associate head coach is Chris Carrawell. The assistants, Emmanuel Dildy and Will Avery, and the director of player development is Justin Robinson. By the way, Cooper, while he was recovering from his ankle injury, picked up a bunch of different first-team All-American honors, a consensus first-team All-American now, 22nd in program history. 10th time a freshman has done it. He doesn't care about any of that, though. As they're set to get going here in the NCAA tournament, Mount St. Mary's as the 16th seed are the visitors. They're going to wear blue jerseys and shorts with navy blue numerals and lettering, some white trim. It's light blue in terms of their overall color. Meanwhile, for the Blue Devils, the familiar home whites with Duke blue numerals and lettering, a Duke blue stripe down the side, and an Iron Duke D logo in white at the bottom of the shorts. We're going to watch Sean Shire's group go left to right here in the first half as we see things courtside at the Lenovo Center. They could fit 19,500 in here. I think we might be there as this one's set to tip off, and there is a lot of Duke blue in the building, as you would expect. Told you this is the 47th trip in the big dance for the Blue Devils. 32-3 in the first round all time. 6-2 in games played in Raleigh. First time they played, though, in the Lenovo Center under its most recent name. It's done a couple of name changes over the years. It'll be Maluach and Adebayo to jump it off. Courtney Green's going to lead our officiating crew. He's assisted by Ed Corliss and Sean Hull. Courtney Green with the basketball in hand. Great to have you with us as the Blue Devils go to work in the postseason, and away we go as Duke controls the opening tap. It'll be Sion James to bring it across midcourt, greeted by Irvin. Working with a right-hand dribble. Crosses over, gets to the right. A nice screen from Maluach. Into the paint, kept the pivot foot outside Cooper. Over to the left and Tyrese. Off of the screen, Proctor into the paint. Cooper, left side of the lane, he's hacked. And the first foul of the ball game will be on Dallas Hobbs. And that's the first on either team. And, of course, all eyeballs early on. John Roth will be on number 2 and how he's moving out there with that left ankle.
Certainly will. He got injured, if you didn't realize it. Remember, first half of the first game of the ACC tournament on the bench the rest of the way. See how he goes.
James off the inbound, Knipple off the window, and a goaltend is going to get us started as the ACC tournament MVP has the first points of the day. 18-8 for Con in the title game. With the amount of minutes he played in Charlotte, he, as much as anyone, probably appreciated the 5-day break in between games.
He averaged 21 a game in that tournament.
And now a turnover up top for Mount St. Mary's and out of bounds. Last touch by the Mounts as Hobbs couldn't control it. Turnover is a huge issue for Mount St. Mary's this season. They average more than 15 per game, 15.1 to be exact. That's 349th in the country.
They had several games in the 20s.
Sion James has it up top, looking to add to a 2-0 lead. Looking over to the left, Knipple curling. James gets a screen from Cooper, fed it to him in the pocket, into the paint. The lob! And Maluach the dunk.
Cooper to come on.
And a 4-0 start here in the opening minute. On the right, Adebayo sends it to the sideline. Now back up top it comes. Working is Hobbs with the basketball. Defended by Cooper Flagg. Shot clock down to 10. On the left, it's Irvin. Slicing into the paint, rises up from 8 feet out and banks it off the window. Javon Irvin only had 2 in the game against American, but he's got the first 2 today. for Mount St. Mary's, and they trail 4-2. Tyrese Proctor at the top of the key. Drifts to the right, calls out the play, lobs it to the left, and Malawach. A handoff for Tyrese. A clean look from 3, and he hit it. Had 6 in the title game on Saturday night, a career high, and the Blue Devils build the lead to 5, 7-2. 90 seconds gone in our opening half. Lipscomb up top. Sends it to the right. Deflected. Stolen by Proctor. 2-on-1. Fed it to Cooper. Down the lane. Off the window. Counted it a foul. And that familiar flex builds the lead to 7.
That time doing it from his backside after landing on the baseline following the shot, but nonetheless his celebration of a basket.
The foul on Lipscomb is his first, and as Cooper heads to the line, we remind you that Food Line is the proud sponsor of the Score to Get More program. For each free throw the Blue Devils make in today's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. And the free throw for Cooper is good, and it is already 10-2.
And Cooper already has a field goal, a free throw, and an assist.
On the right baseline. Spinning is Irvin, knocked out of bounds, last touch by the Blue Devils. By the way, they changed that foul, not on Lipscomb, but actually on Hobbs. That's worse news for the Mount, as he's now got 2, and now as I say that, they've switched it back to Lipscomb.
Okay.
For a moment, he had 2. As Hobbs has it up top, thought about a deep one. They had 9 threes in the game against American, as they send it back up top for Irvin. 13 to shoot. Send it over to the right. Adebayo trying to drive Knipple. Nearly fell down. Fed the corner. A baseline drop. They whip it to the left for a Hobbs 3. No. Too strong. Rebound tapped out. Knipple has it. Knocked out of his hands into the arms of Cooper Flagg. Across midcourt, leading by 8. Cooper weaves all the way to the right. And now lobs it up top for Kaman. A handoff for Knipple. Steps to the left. Launches. Too strong on a 3. Long rebound into the arms of Lipscomb for Mount St. Mary's. Blue Devils 4 of 6 though to start as Hobbs at the other end. Can't hit a 3. Cooper got a hand on the rebound, but it's claimed by Cordelia. Lobs it back up top for Lipscomb and a fresh 20 for the Mounts. He goes to the right corner. Dancing is Adebayo trying to get inside on Knipple. Fades away off the window. Missed it badly. The rebound knocked loose and out of there with it is Sion James. Meanwhile, the Mounts 1 of 5 to start from the field as James sends it up top for Tyrese Proctor. And now Malawach. Holding, dribbles to the right, sizes it up. To the corner it goes in Knipple. 15 to shoot. Kahn deep in the right corner, back up top for Tyrese. Down to 10 on the timer. Drifts to the right and hits another 3. Proctor missed his first 10 of the tournament in Raleigh, but boy, has he been sizzling since. Now 8 of his last 16 from outside.
Yeah, those 6 in Charlotte were big against Louisville and got the Blue Devils off to a great 13-2 start here.
Up by 11 just over 3 minutes in. Along the right sideline, it's Hobbs. Trying to drive Proctor, can't get by. Crossed over, still can't get by. 10 to shoot. Dribbles all the way up top, fed it to Lipscomb, 35 feet out. He's got James on him to the right. Hobbs went up for 3, knocked out of bounds by Proctor. It'll stay with the Mount with 3 seconds to shoot. They use 2 nicknames, Mountaineers and the Mount, for this program that is based out of Emmitsburg, Maryland, their university. Enrollment of a little more than 2,100. They're in that DMV area that is such a rich basketball tradition. As we see the first substitutions of the ball game, and first off the bench is Patrick Gongwa for head coach Sean Shire, the freshman out of Manassas, Virginia. Averaged 8.7 points and 2.3 rebounds in the ACC tournament. Picked up 5 blocks on the year. Began the tournament not getting a ton of minutes because of all the injuries. He did get one. Here's a prayer at the buzzer. No good from 3 for Adebayo. So Blue Devils a chance to add to a 13-2 start. On the left, it's Cooper. He might take a 3. Drifts to the right. Lob it inside for Gongba. A high efficient look off the window, but it wouldn't go. Unfortunate hop for Pat. In transition, 3 on the right for Keys is short for Mount St. Mary's. Proctor has the rebound, but he couldn't control it on the sideline. It was 16:06 to play here in the first half. Mount St. Mary's will have it. Going back to Gongba, we mentioned the 5 blocks he had in Charlotte. Johnny had 6 at the start of that tournament for the season. Nearly doubled it in 3 games.
And he had a huge one in the Georgia Tech game. That was when the Blue Devils were down and trying to get themselves back into that contest, down by double digits. And he just cuffed a guy right at the basket, and that kind of got him started.
You hear the roar as the freshman out of Fayetteville comes into the ballgame for the first time, Isaiah Evans. So Knipple, Evans, Gongba, Proctor, and Mason Gillis, the graduate student that came over from Purdue. He knows how to have success in the NCAA tournament. On the right, trying to drive inside is Cordelia. One-on-one with Gongba. Spins, fades away, missed everything. And the rebound for Gillis. Across midcourt, up 13-2. Quick hit Ed for Evans on the left, thought about a three. He's still finding his spot in the corner. They go to the right, though. Knippel's open, and another three. Oh, it rattled out halfway down and came out. 2 of 4 from outside now. Keys across midcourt. Drifts to the left, greeted by Gillis. Into the corner it goes for Lipscomb. A baseline drop off the window, and he got it to go.
They had missed 6 shots in a row for them. Good to see one go down.
13-4, Duke by 9, 15-18 to play in the half. Proctor to the right corner, and Knippel. Dribbling, bobbled it, got it back. Plenty of time into the post. Gillis open inside, hesitation move, and he's hammered and will shoot 2 as Cordelia picks up his first. Timeout on the floor, 15:09 to play in our opening half. Good start for John Shire's group. They're already up 13-4.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that. Back here in Raleigh, just underway, 15:09 to play in our opening half. The Blue Devils by 9, 13-4. Today's game between Duke and Mount St. Mary's is presented by Duke Stores. Visit shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop. David Shumate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schatzberger. The winner of this one gets Baylor on Sunday. We'll find out the tip-top a little bit later on tonight as the Blue Devils look to advance to the second round. By the way, they've already hit 2 threes, both of them for Tyrese Proctor. That means 1,260 consecutive games with a made three-pointer, and the chase is complete. The streak goes all. The last time they missed a 3 was December 30th, 1989, 6 years to the day after I was born. Not that anybody cares about that. Against Hawaii, they haven't missed one since. They caught UNLV largely because they've just been playing more games, and UNLV's season is over with, so now they have the longest streak in the country. They were tied entering today.
So I guess UNLV will be chasing the Blue Devils next year, see if they can catch back up. But the way Tyrese left no doubt about that streak continuing with 2 solid daggers here in this first 5 minutes of play to get the Blue Devils off to a really good start. I know before the last game in Louisville, after he started 0 for 10, Coach Shire pulled him aside and said, there's this thing called the law of averages. When you miss a bunch, it's going to catch up and you're going to start making maybe more than you would. And Tyrese is certainly enjoying the law of averages right now.
Yeah, he is the Blue Devils' leading scorer. He's got 6 of the 13 so far with those 2 threes. And when you take a look at what Blue Devils have this 9-point lead, getting the stats worked out. Always nice to have the people in Raleigh coming over and visit with us courtside. Maybe the conversation in the background. 15:09 to go. I was about to say, come on, Malowacz is adding to his streak. Has a dunk already. He's got 65 dunks on the season. All of Duke's opponents combined have 54 so far. And John Roth, when you looked at this matchup on paper, obviously the Blue Devils had a pretty sizable advantage in terms of height and skill at just about every position, but the good aggressive start is what you were looking for. Mount St. Mary's is 1-34 all-time against ranked opponents. That lone win came against Georgia Tech, 71-69 back in 1995. One of just 2 wins they've ever had against the ACC. One of them came this year, though, when they beat Miami by 4 in overtime in Coral Gables, as Gillis is at the line shooting 2 out of the timeout, and the first one is good.
Yeah, that's one of 2 opponents they've had in common with the Blue Devils this year. In fact, they played them back-to-back after they beat Miami. Then they went to George Mason, who Duke played earlier this year, and they lost to George Mason 64-56.
As Gillis' second free throw is good. And of course, the Blue Devils beat George Mason by 21, 68-47. So we're 5 minutes in, and the lead back to 11, 15-4. Xavier with it now. By the way, Caleb Foster is out there for the first time. The sophomore out of Harrisburg, North Carolina, defensively. He's in the left corner. Tobbs looking for space. Tried to feed into the pocket. They're going to say it was kicked on the way through by Gungba. Set the 5 on the floor for you for head coach John Shire. It's Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans, Con Knipple, Mason Gillis, and Patrick Gungba.
And Coach Shire getting what you would consider the top members of his rotation, all getting court time here early in the first 5-6 minutes of this opening game. Get a feel for the tournament.
Already 9 different guys have seen the floor. As probing his keys into the paint on Evans. Spins, tough fadeaway, and it wouldn't go. Rimmed off, and the rebound for Gillis. So a chance to add to this 11-point lead with 14.5 minutes to play until the break. Foster up top for Gillis. Pointing to the right, looking maybe for a screen. Instead fed it to Gungba. At the right wing, sends it to the left. Foster in the corner, thought about a 3. He will take it. A rainbow that's good. Caleb Foster has his first field goal. And it is 18-4. Hobbs along the left sideline. Probing, nearly lost it in front of Knipple. Up top it comes. Keys sends it to the left. Dangerous pass. It came to Hobbs. Waiting with Knipple. Tried to cross him over. Couldn't get by. 13 to shoot. Comes off of a screen. Fed it into the pocket. And a nice feed to Cordelia, who has his first points via a dunk. And it's 18-6. 6 minutes in.
Yeah, that was a really nice feed right through the Blue Devil defense down low.
Knipple for Gillis. Now further to the right in Isaiah Evans. He'll launch up top. Too strong on a 3. And Cordelia has the rebound for Mount St. Mary's. Blue Devils letting it fly early from deep. 3 of 7 from outside. As Lipscomb fed it over to the right. Spinning is Haig. Now a baseline drive for Xavier. Another cutter, couldn't control it. Bounced all the way up top to Hobbs. To the right, Haig steps closer from 15. Can't hit a jumper. Knipple got a hand on the rebound. Still loose. Chased down in the corner by Caleb Foster. Up by 12, they cross midcourt. 18-6. Caleb working with a left-hand dribble. Fed it to the left. There's Gungba. To the right corner it goes. Deflected on the way by Hobbs. It'll stay with the Blue Devils along the right sideline. As we see Sion James and Cooper Flagg return. Of course, Cooper, the freshman out of Newport, Maine. Cordelia is going to come out. And into the ball game is Malcolm Dredd for the 18th time this year for Mount St. Mary's. It's going to be interesting to see how much they use their bench. They've had some late season injuries that have really been catastrophic for them. Terrell Ard had an Achilles injury. He was averaging 11 points per game. He's done for the season. And out with a finger injury again today is Carmelo Pacheco. He's their best 3-point shooter. Cooper Flagg with it, top of the key. Crossing over to the right. Got to the baseline. Trying to drive Lipscomb. Back up top. Gillis, a ball fake. Drives into the paint. Rises up and rattled around and went down. So Mason Gillis now with 4. That's his first field goal after a couple of free throws. And the lead back to 14. 20-6 as we drift under 13 minutes to play in the half. Behind the back with a dribble. Hobbs got to the top of the key. Back pedals. Sends it to the right. Now he's got it again. Hobbs jumps up top. Can't hit a 3. Alone for the rebound is Cooper Flagg. Across midcourt, left to right. Cooper sizes up the defense. Into the paint he goes. To the left, Sion James. Back to the right. Gillis, a ball fake. Hobbs in his chest. Swiped at it, couldn't get it. Up top, James now. Looking inside, lobbed it to Gung with the left elbow. Backdoor to Cooper to punch it down.
A quick dunk by Cooper, too. That ball hardly touched his fingertips, and he was throwing it through.
He's got 5, and it's 22-6 on the right baseline. Lipscomb fed it to the left. Keys will take a 3. Rattles it home. Arlandis Keys with his 44th 3 of the season makes it 22-9. James into the paint quickly at the other end. Spins, goes up, and too strong with the push shot with his right hand. Bodies crash inside. Just now getting to his feet is Dredd as he was doing battle with Gungba. And the Mount crosses midcourt, trailing by 13 in the right corner. Rattled out on a 3 this time for Keys. And Caleb Foster has the rebound. Blue Devils quickly across midcourt, 8.5 minutes in. Caleb. Cooper in a wrestling match along the left sideline with Keys. Sends it for Gungba. Does Foster at the free throw line. Gungba faces up. Nobody came to him, so he floats with the right hand. Scores. Counted in a foul. The foul will be on Dredd, and we've got a timeout. 11:26 to play until the break. Duke 24 and Mount St. Mary's 9.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Blue Devils, Mountaineers. You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll return to Raleigh in 1 minute.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious Southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's Bo time.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
He looks healthy. Cooper Flagg back from injury. He's got 5 points, second in scoring for the Blue Devils, and the top seed of the East region leads 16-seeded Mount St. Mary's 24-9, under 12 to play in the opening half.
Cooper sizes up the defense. Into the paint he goes. To the left, Sion James. Back to the right. Gillis, a ball fake. Hobbs in his chest. Swiped at it. Couldn't get it. Up top, James now. Looking inside. Lobbed it to Gung with the left elbow. Backdoor to Cooper to punch it down.
A quick dunk by Cooper, too. That ball hardly touched his fingertips, and he was throwing it through.
As John Roth will have more of the stats here, as Duke is shooting 9 of 14, 64% from the floor. John?
Thanks a lot, Kyle. Our stats mid-game are presented by Steel. Trusted Steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Kyle mentioned 9 out of 14 from the floor, 9 made field goals. 7 different players have hit a field goal for the Blue Devils, so lots of balance so far in this contest. Proctor with 6 to lead the way, Cooper with 5, Gillis with 4 off the bench. Those top the stat sheet for Duke. On the other side, Duke's defense has limited the Mount to a 4 out of 14 start from the floor, 28%, and they're just 1 out of 7 from three-point range. Rebounds pretty even. Blue Devils getting it done in the paint as well as from three-point range, so they've outscored Mount St. Mary's 12-6 on points in the paint. The Mount had 40 points in the paint and 9 threes, so lots of balance in their last game over American. So far, the Blue Devils taking care of business on both of those areas to start this game.
And you look at what they've done in terms of assist to turnover so far. 6 assists and nary a turnover to be found. Of course, they're 4th in the country in terms of assist to turnover ratio, 1.75 to 1, 23rd in terms of assists per game. Both of those numbers had dipped slightly in the ACC tournament. Some of it the quality of competition, some of it you're without your leading assist man in Cooper Flagg as Gungba can't complete the three-point play out of the timeout. But they certainly appear back to perform here this afternoon, at least in the early going. 24-9 our score. Duke by 15 with 11:15 to play in the half. Hobbs on the baseline trying to drive Cooper, can't get by. Back up top it comes with Lipscomb. Lobs one over to the right, a catch for Cordelia. Gives it right back to Lipscomb, trying to return the favor, cannot. Just throws it into the post. Cordelia catches 17 feet out on the right. 8 to shoot, trying to back down Sion James. Steps through, forced it, got it blocked. Ooh, Cooper rejection. And here comes Proctor across midcourt left to right. Send it to the right. James up top. Proctor to the corner. Caleb again. Couldn't hit a 3, and the rebound for Lipscomb. Across midcourt, trailing by 15 comes Mount St. Mary's. On the drive, Adebayo fed it to the right. A 3-ball is on the way and good. Out of the arms of Arlandis Keys, his second of the ball game. And it brings Mount St. Mary's back within 12, 24-12, 10.5 minutes to play until the break. Proctor probing, lob it to the baseline. Cooper catches amongst 2 defenders and banks it home. Through heavy contact, he's got 7.
Yeah, Cooper not being held up at all by the traffic that time.
26-12, if you're wondering. He looks spry out there after missing a couple of games last weekend with the ankle injury. As Cordelia looking for space on the left. Waiting. Does the handoff for Keys, who bobbled it. Able to collect it out near midcourt and save it to Lipscomb. Shot clock's already down to 8. Swinging low Adebayo, trying to drive Cooper. Crossed him over, lost it. Caleb has it. A hit ahead for Cooper. Leave it to Proctor on the drive. Back to Cooper. Off the window and in.
Good
9 for Cooper Flagg already. And a timeout taken by Mount St. Mary's. 9:50 to go until the break. Duke by 16. 28-12. It has been a very busy start to the NCAA tournament. Already a thriller here today in Raleigh as Baylor got by Mississippi State. Kyle Schasberger's tracking all of it for us in our network studios, and let's send it to him.
David, thank you. That's one of 3 finals that we already have on Day 2 of the NCAA tournament, which started yesterday with 16 games, 16 more today, all part of the first round. And Baylor beat Mississippi State, the 9-seeded Bears, over the 8-seeded Bulldogs 75-72 earlier today as part of the East region. One of 4 games in Raleigh. You'll hear about the others in a moment. The other finals to note, 3-seeded Iowa State 82-55 over 14-seeded Lipscomb. No issue for the Cyclones in the South region. And then 2-seeded Alabama, who trailed by a single point with 7 minutes to play against 15-seeded Robert Morris in the East region. Well, the Crimson Tide able to flex their muscles down the stretch.
They throw it in to Phylon. LeBaron will hurry it into the front court. He will let traffic catch up, then goes baseline. Looks, finds Nelson. Fakes a 3 in the corner. Drives to the rack and throws it home. He's fine.
He was needed, and he has produced. Alabama has flipped the script since Grant Nelson's been in this game.
Chris Stewart from Learfield. Grant Nelson, injury concerns for him coming into the tournament. Alabama is able to win over Robert Morris 90-81. Couple of games in progress, one alongside ours, and that's 12-seeded Colorado State up 52-48. Almost 7 minutes gone by in the second half as the Rams lead 5-seeded Memphis in the West region. Couple of games tipping off in the next hour. 10-seeded Vanderbilt, 7-seeded St. Mary's. They'll get started here any moment now in the East region from Cleveland and Milwaukee. Later on at 4:05 in the South region, 11-seeded North Carolina, 6-seeded Ole Miss. And then at 4:35, 13-seeded Grand Canyon, 4-seeded Maryland from Seattle in the West region. The other 2 games in Raleigh, 6:50 start between top-seeded Florida and 16-seeded Norfolk State. The Gators, SEC tournament champs, as Todd Golden brings Florida in as the 4th number 1 seed.
I do think the separator is our front court. Ruben and Alex have done a great job starting for us all year. Tommy, definitely an additional starter level player, one of the best 6th men in the league, has played an all-league level for a majority of the season. And then being fortunate enough to add Micah back, just an addition that completed us. And, as we've won 12 out of our last 13, I think our front court deserves a lot of credit for that.
Gators are 30-4 overall. The nightcap in Raleigh, 9-seeded Oklahoma, 8-seeded UConn, 9:25 approximately as part of the West region at the Lenovo Center. David Shumate, John Roth. We got more Duke basketball later, too, with the women's team. Carol Lawson and company taking center floor and Cameron against Lehigh later tonight at 8.
Looking forward to that. Chris Edwards and Debbie Taylor will have the call for you beginning at 7:45 from Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Duke women also coming off of an ACC championship automatic bid. That was 2 weekends ago in Greensboro.
As we get sent back to action here in Raleigh, Blue Devil Basketball is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. So Mount St. Mary's having to burn a timeout as the Blue Devils have already built the lead to 16. This equals their biggest margin of the afternoon. As curling up top is Lipscomb. Half the shot clock already gone. Bounces one to the left elbow extended for Cordelia. Now a handoff. It's Keys. Going to jump up from 3 and hit it. Boy, Keys has been the offense for Mount St. Mary's. He's got 3 threes and he brings them back within 13. He's got 9 of the 15 for the Mount. Averages 7 points per game coming in. Proctor shoveled one to the right. Malowacz back to Tyrese in the paint. Back outside. Common. He'll set the feed and hit a 3. He's found his stroke. Had one in the ACC tournament. That's just his 4th of the season. 4 of 16 now. The average coming up, though, and now another turnover for Mount St. Mary's as Hobbs dribbled off his foot on the right sideline.
They're looking to get that ball to Keys. He had 2 out of 3 from 3 in their first game against American. So I guess in 2 tournament games thus far, 5 out of 8 from beyond the stripe.
31-15. Duke with the basketball in the advantage as we go under 9 minutes to play in the half. Cooper looking to the right, setting up the offense. Finds Sion James, curling into the paint, a lob to Common. Woo! Rocks the rim on the right side of the floor. We won't see much of that in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference, which is where Mount St. Mary's hails from. As Cordelia faces up top, wants to drive Common into the paint, spins, waits, goes up, and left it short, but a foul on Malowacz will send him to the line for 2. That's the first foul on the Blue Devils here with 8:25 to play in the half.
And David, the Blue Devils already in double figures in assists in this game. We've only played 11 and a half minutes. They've got 10 assists on the 13 makes.
A bagel in the turnover column.
And that too, yes.
As Cordelia will shoot to 69.6% on the season. And the right-handed free throw shooter able to hit. Mount St. Mary's, a fun story. Still looking for their first win in the first round of the NCAA tournament. We told you this is their 7th trip. They are 3-2 all-time in the first 4. Won the MAAC title in just their 3rd season. They joined that league in 2022-23. Donnie Lynn in his first season. The most wins for a first-year head coach in program history as the second free throw goes begging for Cordelia and the rebound for Cooper Flagg. Across midcourt, shovel one off for Proctor. Duke by 17 right now. Inside it goes for Flagg. Another lob and another dunk for Come On.
Got the tally going on the Come On dunk parade here so far in this contest as the Blue Devils open it up 35-16.
He's got 3 dunks and a 3, and he's yet to miss from the field, 4-4. And he and Cooper each have 9. Under 8 minutes to go in the half. Lipscomb up top, sends it over to the right into the arms of Keys. He sends it back to the top of the key and Irvin. A bounce pass to the right. A handoff for Cordelia, and now Irvin behind the back of the dribble, can't get by Cooper. 5 to shoot. Down to 4 and 3. Going to take a long 3. Cooper got a piece. And Evans out of there with the loose basketball. Sends it to the right, and Tyrese Proctor. Back for Evans. Up top. Short on a 3, trying to get his own rebound. Did not. Into the arms of Keys to the other end. Trying to drive Proctor. Fed it back to the right, and Irvin. And now the Blue Devils recover defensively. Lipscomb off of a screen to the left. Got into the paint at the elbow. A little ball fake. Got rid of it. Now Adebayo battling with Evans. 15 feet out on the left baseline. Tries to drive him into the paint. Rises up off the window and in. Dola Adebayo has his first field goal that makes it 35-18 as we approach 7 minutes to play in the half. Cooper for Kahn on the right. Back up top, Proctor. Gets a screen from Malawach. He'll set the feed and hit again. Tyrese Proctor with his 3rd 3. And for the first time today, a 20-point lead, 38-18, as we wheel under 7 minutes to play in the first half. Underhand scoop for Keys. Now back up top for Cordelia. Cordelia size up the defense. By the way, Con Knippel's got some cotton in his right nostril out there. That's not going to slow him down, though. Into the left corner it goes. Adebayo drives the baseline on Cooper. Backs him down to the elbow. Sends it back up top. Driving inside. Lipscomb on Malawach. And a foul will be called. We'll see who it's going to be called on. If it's Kamon, that's number 2. It is. And we've got a timeout. 6:30 to go. About the start you were hoping for. The Blue Devils lead at 38-18.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero at your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Blue Devil fans, the Food Lion Feed Score to Give More program is back for this incredible postseason run. Food Lion Feeds has donated more than 6.5 million meals to local food banks and college pantries through the Food Lion Feed Score to Give More program. For every free throw made by Duke women's and men's basketball teams during this tournament, Food Lion Feeds will continue to donate 100 meals to help our local neighbors in need. Food Lion is the official grocer of the ACC and proud to support the Blue Devils.
Back in Raleigh, Duke by 20, 38-18 with 6:30 to play in our first half. And the FanDuel Sports Network is your new home for your home teams. Watch all the big hits, big shots, big goals, all in one place. For coverage of Blue Devils athletics, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets, visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com today and watch all season long. David Shoemate alongside John Ross. John Rose, our producer and engineer, back inside our network studios, is Kyle Schasberger. Trivia time. Now, Roth might know this if he read the game notes. He probably did. This is the second time the Blue Devils have faced a member of the MAAC conference in the first round.
Ooh.
Do you know the other?
I did not read that
and
line.
If you'd like a hint,
I'll
give you one. The current coach at St. John's was not yet the head coach at this institution.
Iona?
There you go.
Okay, all right.
As Iona was the opponent in 2018. That was the Marvin Bagley crew, Grayson Allen and company that went to the Elite Eight.
I know. Here's one for you. This is
this doesn't go well.
This is from their game, the other team's game notes.
Don't do trivia with Roth.
This is not the first time that Mount St. Mary's has played an ACC team in the first round in this building. Do you know when they did it previously?
Do you want me to? I cheated. Do you want?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's just a matter of giving information out there.
Yeah, it was Carolina in 2008.
Carolina,
right?
2008. Yeah, on this exact day.
113-74 was the score.
Did not go well for the Mount that day either.
We mentioned their lack of success in the first round because more often than not, John Roth, they're playing a 1 seed.
Every time they've played in the first round, it's been a 1 seed because they've always been a 16 seed. But still, 7th trip to the tournament.
Yeah, we mentioned this is their first with the MAAC. Their 6 others came as a member of the Northeast Conference.
And no, they've only been in Division I since 1989, so it's not like we're talking about the whole history of the NCAA. I mean, they've had 7 since then.
As Lipscomb is at the line for a pair.
They actually had 14 trips to the tournament in NCAA Division II, including a national championship.
And for the job that Donnie Lind has done his first season, the 23 wins, that's the most they've had since they joined Division I in 88-89. The other 21 seasons they had were 95-96 in the 2016-17 campaign. One more free throw for Lipscomb. On the way. Got them both.
Working on his master's in cybersecurity here as a grad student at the Mount.
We'll talk about a secure profession.
Right now. I hope.
Sion James, Con Knipple, Tyrese Proctor, Patrick Gongba, Mason Gillis, the 5 on the floor as Proctor has it up top. Drifts to the left, finds Knipple. A clean look from 3, and down it goes. Con has 5, and the lead grows to 21, 41-20 for the Blue Devils. That is three-pointer number 6.
Out of 11 attempts.
They average more than 10 per game, of course. He's drifting over to the right as Keys. Back up top, Cordelia. Thought about a deep one. Instead, he'll dribble to the left with 12 on the timer. Trying to back down Gongba. At the left block, steps into the paint, sizing it up, rises up, and hits. So J.D. Cordelia with 5 now. It's 41-22, not 40.5. Gillis. Which of those 10 threes made per game is the second country? These stats, the Blue Devils are in the top 20. Eventually, they're in the top 10 of a lot of those stats. As Proctor with 9 to shoot. Gets a screen from Gongba, probes to the right elbow, jumps up, and too strong on the jumper. The rebound for Gillis. A fresh 20, Tyrese behind the arc now. That's what he needed. His 4th 3 gives him 12 for the ball game. The first into double figures, and they're doubling up the Mount. It's 44-22 with 5 minutes to play in the half.
Just back it up a couple steps and shoot it again.
4 of 4 from 3 after having a career-high 6 against Louisville in the ACC title game. In the left corner, Lipscomb going to try to answer. He cannot. A long rebound chased down by Proctor, but a foul on Gongba inside. That will be his first and the 3rd on the team. On the rebounding action, as we see Caleb Foster return. And the junior out of Sydney, Australia, will get a breather. I don't want to use all those up here in the first round. It looks like the Blue Devils in comfortable control, having made 8 of their last 10 from the field. Do you believe in that theory? You can save some for later.
No, but anyway.
Throws into backcourt for Keys. Keys bounces one into the feet of Adebayo and a ricochet back to Keys. He's had 3 threes, and that one is way off as he launched from 35 feet on the right. Couldn't hit. And now Caleb across midcourt. To the left, James. Looking to the right, feeds Gongba. Right back to Sion. He's got plenty of space up top. Thought about a 3 and said to the left, Gillis. Right back for Sion. Plenty of time, 15 to shoot. Blue Devils will backpedal and get the offensive set going again. Gongba to the left, Gillis. He'll jump up, and that won't go. Too strong in the rebound on the weak side for Adebayo. So 44-22 our scores. We approach 4 minutes to play in the half. Woo, Adebayo and James a collision up top. Everybody scampers away unscathed. Hobbs to the baseline, bodied up by Foster, and he's going to pick up a foul. say unscathed. Easy for me. I didn't run into Sion James.
That's hard to do. Leave that collision unscathed.
And 6'6", 220, the Sugar Hill, Georgia product. What do you think? His body fat percentage is like 0.5. I mean, just rock solid out there.
Adebayo's 6'8", 210. That was a good collision.
It's Hobbs limmed out on the left baseline. Get it in for Cordelia. Right back to Hobbs. Spinning away. Sets the feet. He'll try a three. No. Weak side rebound for Knippel. So still 44-22, and we're under 4 minutes to go in the half now. C on a crossover. Got by Lipscomb. Fouled, and he'll shoot two when we come back. That'll be the second foul on the point guard for Mount St. Mary's. And we step aside here in Raleigh with Duke up 44-22.
Hey Blue Devil fans, it's game day, and Harris Teeter knows your party is just as important as the game. With mouth-watering wings, delicious dips, pre-ordered party platters to please any crowd, and not to mention the best pizzas, ribs, and ready-to-grill pub burgers in town. Only Harris Teeter can deliver delicious as you huddle up with family and friends to celebrate. Set a reminder to order ahead if you need party platters, and make Harris Teeter your pre-game stop before the next game. Harris Teeter, where Blue Devil fans shop for their delicious game day.
You're listening to Duke Basketball on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
This season, Duke Basketball has teamed up with Duke Children's for the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Thanks to 605 Hoops Heroes, over $19,000 has already been raised for the kids at Duke Children's. Fans, it's not too late to join our team and show your support. Give your $25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159. That's 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Hi, I'm Megan Gower of Her Hoop Stats. Each week, co-host Rob Joyce and I break down all the latest around women's basketball on the Gower Hour. We analyze what's happened each week, preview what's to come, and talk with guests from around the country to make sure you're covered coast to coast from now all the way through the Final Four in April. Available each week, search and subscribe to Her Hoop Stats in your feed on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and check out herhoopstats.com for all your women's hoops needs.
Duke has knocked down 7 3-pointers. They're doubling up. Mount St. Mary's 44-22. Tyrese Proctor has 4 of those triples.
Proctor with 9 to shoot. Gets a screen from Gungba. Probes to the right elbow. Jumps up. And too strong on the jumper. The rebound for Gillis. A fresh 20. Tyrese behind the arc now. That's what he needed. His 4th 3 gives him 12 for the ball game. The first into double figures, and they're doubling up the Mount. It's 44-22 with 5 minutes to play in the half.
We'll check more highlights like that coming up at halftime, as well as touch on the NCAA tournament scoreboard. Colorado State, 12 seed, now pulling away from 5 seed Memphis, head by 10 as they near the under 8 timeout of the second half of the West region. Vanderbilt St. Mary's 10-7 matchup just underway. 9 minutes gone by opening half. 11 apiece between the Gales and the Commodores. David?
All right, thank you very much, Colin. We remind you that Blue Devil Basketball is brought to you in part by Kohl's. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. And it'll be the Blue Devils at the free throw line out at the timeout. They're 3 out of 4 at the charity stripe, as is Mount St. Mary's. Colin just told you about the three-point shooting. Awfully impressive. Both teams have taken 13. The Blue Devils have made 7. Mount St. Mary's just 3. 13 assists for John Shire's group on their 17 makes, and Tyrese Proctor already has 5 to go along with those 4 threes. And it'll be James looking for his first points of the day. You know, I was asked, this time of year, do a bunch of different radio interviews around the state, around the country. John Roth, I was asked for an unsung hero on this team, and I think you have to start with number 14. As good as he's been at the point, maybe flies under the radar with so many other talented players out there.
Yeah, especially since everybody else in the starting lineup is pretty well sung. So, yeah, he's probably, you're right. And he's done so much for this team and showed up big in the ACC championship game. I know other people made the all-tournament team. 15 points and a bunch of threes were really big for him, especially the Blue Devils starting off that second half, trying to come back from that deficit to Louisville. He'll get a breather as Isaiah Evans returns. Of course, James, the grad transfer from Tulane. So let's set the 5 on the floor for you. It's Tyrese Proctor, Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans, Cooper Flagg, and Patrick Gungba.
Tyrese the only one in double figures, but Cooper and Malowacz right on the cusp. Each have 9 so far. It's a 24-point cushion with 3:40 to play in the half. Hobbs, left side of the paint. Can't do anything with Proctor defending. Fed it back up top for Lipscomb. Cooper Flagg has him. Picked up his dribble, fed it to the right. Keys able to catch in front of Evans. Shot clock at 7 and 6. Wants to drive, back pedals, tough three, and it's an air ball. And the rebound for Gungba. Outstanding defense for Isaiah Evans, and now Proctor weaving his way across midcourt. Tyrese waiting, drifts up top, and sends it for Cooper on the left. He'll take a three. Short. Long rebound chased down by Hobbs. Across midcourt. We approach 3 minutes to play until the break. Hobbs nearly lost it up top. Fed it to Keys. 46-22, Duke in front. Turning the corner is Keys underneath the hoop. Nearly stepped out of bounds. Fed it up top for Lipscomb. Half the shot clock is gone as Hobbs has it now at the top of the key. Defended by Proctor. Crossing over once, twice. Waits, wants to drive him. Scoops with the right hand off the window and down. Dallas Hobbs has his first points, and it's 46-24. Proctor for Cooper Flagg, and now over to the left to Caleb Foster. Caleb, open driving lane on the baseline. Feeds it to the right. Evans wide open. Turned down the 3 steps closer from 15 and hits. Slim with his first field goal. 48-24. They're back to doubling them up with 2:25 to play in the half.
Yeah, he missed twice earlier from 3-point range, that time deciding to get a little bit closer.
The Blue Devils 64% from the field, and they made half of their threes. He's driving inside, putting one awkwardly off the window is Cordelia. Nice contest for Cooper Flagg, and the Blue Devils out of there with the rebound. Foster, underhand scoop, fed Cooper. Back up top to Caleb. He'll drive on the right. Rise up, put it off the window. Counted it a foul as Keys picks up his first foul, and now Caleb headed to the line looking for his 6th point. And they're halfway to the century mark with still 2:05 to play here in the first half. I'm sure Donnie Lynn, now he saw this, I'm sure, when he was scouting this team, but it's another thing to see it in person. John Roth, when they go to the bench, there's not much drop-off.
No, there is not. Certainly the Blue Devils have had a lot of balance here in this first half. They played 9 guys, and all 9 of them have scored so far, and it's been really evenly spaced out here, even with guys like Tyrese knocking down all the threes and Kaman with all the dunks. Everybody's really played a role.
Cooper Flagg gets a breather as the freshman out of Milwaukee returns. Conkin pulling Caleb pays off the 3-point play, giving him 6, and now it's 51-24 as we approach 2 minutes to play in the half. Lipscomb, underhand scoop for Irvin. Whistle, foul off the ball, all on Mount St. Mary's. Let's see who they tag it on. It was away from the play amongst the screening action, and it'll be on Cordelia, and that's his 2nd. 7th team foul. Will they say player control or not? It would be free throws if it wasn't player control. I guess they say player control.
I guess that's what they said.
As the Blue Devils bring it across in possession. Caleb between the legs with a dribble, bounces one for Gungba, had to reach out, couldn't claim it. That's the first turnover. Here's Hobbs across midcourt, 2-on-1, fed it to Irvin, and he lays it in. But still, 18-plus minutes without a giveaway. 51-26. Proctor bounces one to the left, and Gungba looking to the right, nothing there. Dribbles to the left, holds it high, had to get rid of it. Tyrese now off of another screen, already with 4 threes. This time he'll drive, put it off the window, and free throws coming, and he fell awkwardly on his hip, and he is writhing in pain on the baseline. And now coming to his feet, and looks like he's able to walk it off.
Hard crash right next to the basket stanchion, in between the basket and the photographers sitting down there, but looks like he's walking it off all right.
And they've ticketed the foul for the moment on Lipscomb. That would be his 3rd. Yep, the push from behind. Proctor will likely come out if he can make both of these free throws. As the first one is good, as I see Sion James at the scores table set to check in. Tyrese with 13. The Blue Devils now 7 of 8 at the line. Of course, they've been a very good free throw shooting team all year long. 14th in the country now, 78.5% coming in. And one more for Proctor. Didn't get the roll. And the rebound fumbled. Adebayo able to claim it now. 52-26, 75 seconds to play in the half. Yikes. Long hit ahead, and one of the Duke cheerleaders went crashing to the side as she got hit in the head. She's smiling, though. I think she's all right. It is a turnover for Mount St. Mary's. They threw that pass like there was someone wide open underneath the bucket, and John Ross, she was open.
There was nobody but her anywhere near the basket. Yeah.
By the way, Proctor did come out. Jose Fonseca over for a quick word, and Tyrese seemed to be saying he's all right. We'll keep an eye on that, though. As Evans comes off of a screen on the right, can't hit a three. The rebound inside for Adebayo. Into the final minute of the first half now. Duke up 52-26. Irvin, defended by Isaiah Evans. Wants to drive at the free throw line. The jumper is short, and the rebound for Cordelia. In heavy traffic, he's spinning in trouble, threw it away, but we're going to get a foul. Before Caleb Foster was off to the races, it'll be on Sion James, and that's his first. With 45.5 to play until the break.
A lot of Blue Devils raking around in there trying to dislodge that rebound after the missed shot.
Sometimes when you reach like that, it doesn't even matter if you make contact. They go off the motion. So Mount St. Mary's will inbound again with a fresh 20. Bounce pass. Cordelia came alone inside, and he punches it. And we get a whistle and a timeout taken by John Shire as Cordelia gets the dunk. He's got 7. We'll break for 30 with the Blue Devils up by 24 with 43.4 to play in the half.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
So 43.4 to play here in the first half. The Blue Devils leading by 24, 52-28. David Shoemate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schassberger. Some of the regular starters coming back in. As we set the 5 on the floor for you, it's essentially the starters without Malowach, who's been out for a while with those 2 fouls. Gungba is the center in this rotation. James, Flagg, Knipple, and Proctor, the other 4. And an opportunity to work on situational basketball with a healthy lead here up by 24. We'll see if they try to get a 2-for-1.
Cooper try to score quickly and then still have enough time left after the Mount possession.
They're letting it roll. James picks it up in midcourt. Gets the offense flowing. Sends it inside for Cooper. Turnaround jumper is short. And the rebound for Mount St. Mary's. 6 seconds the differential between the game clock and the shot clock. I know they wanted the shot, but mission accomplished. Time for another opportunity if they can get a stop here. Irvin off of the screen. Waiting. Still waiting. Bounces one. Into the arms of Adebayo on the drive on Cooper. Trying to step through. Spinning. Forced it anyway. Missed it badly. The rebound for Gungba. Shot clock off now. 17 seconds to play in the half. And it'll be Sion James up top. Waiting. Drifts to the left. Bounces one for Cooper. 7 seconds. 6 and 5. He gets a screen from Gungba. Into the paint. Steps through. Off the window. Didn't get the roll. Gungba there to tap it home. To send it to the locker room with the Blue Devils up by 26. His first field goal makes it 54-28. As the Blue Devils hit the locker room. Proctor, the only one in double figures. He's got 13. But of the 9 guys that have seen the floor, everybody has scored, including Cooper Flagg with 9. Malowach has 9. The leading rebounder is Gungba. He's got 5. The leading assist man is Tyrese Proctor with those 5 assists. Very impressive first 20 minutes in the NCAA tournament for John Shire's group. 54-28. They lead it at the break as we send it to the studio. And Kyle.
Thanks so much, David. Coming up, we'll check the tournament scoreboard at 3 games that have already gone final, 2 more alongside us, and plenty of others that are set to get going in the first round here later today. We'll take you through all the highlights also as Duke has opened up a 26-point lead over Mount St. Mary's at halftime. Stats with John Roth and more when the halftime show comes your way after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on Steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Duke, Mount St. Mary's.
Steps to the left, launches, count it.
More from Raleigh after this local break.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero at your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
On the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Duke Basketball Halftime Report. Coming up, we'll break down the game's first 20 minutes, update scores from the ACC and the top 25, and preview the second half. Our halftime coverage begins inside the Learfield Network studios. Here's Kyle Schasberger.
54-28 is our halftime scores. Top-seeded Duke Blue Devils in the East Region lead 16-seeded Mount St. Mary's. First half of the song, the Blue Devils lead by as many as 27. They're up 26 at the break. Tyrese Proctor leading everyone in scoring with 13 points. He's got 4 triples to his ledger, and the Blue Devils are nursing a 26-point lead at the break. Let's go ahead and take you through some of the other NCAA tournament scores. 3 finals already here today. It was tight in the East between 2-seeded Alabama and 15-seeded Robert Morris. It was RMU led by 1 approaching the 7-minute mark, but then Alabama turned on the Jets. They were able to run away from Robert Morris by the final count at 90-81. Mark Sears had 22 points and 10 assists as the Crimson Tide advance. They will have the winner of St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. 14-seeded Lipscomb fell to 3-seeded Iowa State in the South Region, 82-55 for the Cyclones. They wait either Ole Miss or North Carolina next up. And then the game just prior to ours in Raleigh today, Duke finding out, potentially, should the Blue Devils advance, head by 26 here at halftime, whom they will face on Sunday between the Bears and the Bulldogs of Mississippi State.
Nunn, crossover dribble, behind the back, puts his head down, he's stonewalled by Kugel, spits it out for Roach, right wing, back to Nunn, quick touch left side, 1 to shoot, Edgecombe 3 is good! It's a swish! Edgecombe buries it right at the horn. Baylor by 9, 54-45.
PJ Edgecombe beating the shot clock in the second half. That was Jason Benetti on the Westwood One NCAA radio network. Gave Baylor a 9-point advantage. Bulldogs really mucked it up down the stretch, but 9-seeded Baylor able to hang on over 8-seeded Mississippi State in the East Region, 75-72 in Raleigh. That was game 1 of 4 at the Lenovo Center. More on what's to come in Raleigh in a moment, but I mentioned Vanderbilt and St. Mary's. Under 5 to go in the opening half as part of the East Region in Cleveland. Commodores leading the Gales 24-16. Inside of 3 to play in regulation. The West Region, 5-seeded Memphis trailing by 9 to 12-seeded Colorado State, 73-64. They're moments away from tipping things off between 6-seeded Ole Miss and 11-seeded North Carolina in the South Region. Again, the winner of that one between North Carolina and Ole Miss will have Iowa State coming up on Sunday. Other games later today, 13-seeded Grand Canyon, 4-seeded Maryland at 4:35. That will be in West Regional play. And then game 3 in Raleigh, roughly 30 minutes. Actually, no, this would be the start of the night session, so they'll reset things, allow people to exit, file back into the Lenovo Center. It'll be the top seed of the West Region in the Florida Gators at 30-4, fresh off cutting down the nets in Nashville. Following the conclusion of the SEC men's basketball tournament, they'll take on a 16-seeded Norfolk State team that is enjoying their third appearance in the Big Dance since 2021.
Happy to be back here. It's been 3 years. Felt like something's been missing in my life. Now I got it back. So I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited about the opportunity we have to play against one of the best teams in the country. I'm excited about the year that we had, and just ready to get going tomorrow. So there's a level of excitement that's around the Norfolk State men's basketball program right now.
At Spartans head coach Robert Jones yesterday during his media availability. Again, a 6:50 start, 16-1 matchup. Norfolk State trying to become the third ever 16 seed to knock off a top-ranked seed. 7-10 start between 14-seeded Troy and 3-seeded Kentucky, then Midwest regional play. And then later on tonight in the South region, Marquette and New Mexico, 7-10 matchup. 4-seeded Arizona, 13-seeded Akron in the East region being played in Seattle, a 7:35 start. Tommy Lloyd's Wildcats, should they win, and then also on Sunday, would set up a potential Sweet 16 matchup in the same quad of the bracket as Duke.
So you have to have your team, prepared to come out, come out and play consistent basketball. And I think you really have to call on the things you've done all year. That's the approach that I take. So, thinking that, I'm sure players that have been there, obviously there's probably a little bit of an advantage. I've played in a few tournaments, stuff like that. But all in all, I don't think it matters, because once that ball goes up, like I said, the score is 0-0.
And then later tonight, 9-seeded Oklahoma, 8-seeded UConn. They'll conclude the festivities day one in Raleigh as part of the 4 games of action in the first round. The Lenovo Center. Xavier, Illinois later tonight. Bryant, Michigan State. Spartans earn a 2-seed in the South region. And then 5-seeded Oregon, 12-seeded Liberty as part of the East region. A 10-10 start in Seattle. Our halftime score, Duke 54, Mount St. Mary's 28. We'll take a timeout, come back, run you through some of the highlights. Preview 2, Duke women's basketball on the hardwood tonight in Cameron against Lehigh. That's when we return in a moment. First, though, let's pause to allow 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves. This is Duke basketball in round 1 of the East region of the NCAA tournament from Learfield.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
We've called a 60-second local break timeout. Then more Duke basketball. You're listening to the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Duke University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Duke University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Duke University.
Duke 20 minutes away from advancing to the second round of the East Region in the NCAA tournament. 54-28, they lead over 16-seeded Mount St. Mary's. The Blue Devils will have the Baylor Bears should they hang on. Coming up on a Sunday. Kyle Schatzberg with you inside Studio 21. Let's take you through some of the top plays from the opening half. A very loud start for Kaman Maluach, who had several dunks thrusting his way at the 10, and Cooper Flagg returning in the starting lineup, helping to facilitate very early on.
Sion James has it up top, looking to add to a 2-0 lead. Looking over to the left, Knipple curling. James gets a screen from Cooper, fed it to him in the pocket, into the paint. The lob! And Maluach the dunk.
Kaman finishing with 9 points, tied for second behind Tyrese Proctor, who had 13 points leading all scores. Cooper Flagg had 9. He looked good in his return to the floor.
90 seconds gone in our opening half. Lipscomb up top. Sends it to the right. Deflected, stolen by Proctor. 2-on-1. Fed it to Cooper. Down the lane. Off the window. Counted and a foul. And that familiar flex builds the lead to 7.
That time doing it from his backside after landing on the baseline following the shot, but nonetheless, his celebration of a basket.
Blue Devils shot 61% from the floor, 20 made baskets with 13 assists on those converted field goals.
James curling into the paint, a lob to Kaman. Woo! Rocks the rim on the right side of the floor. Across midcourt, shovel one off for Proctor. Duke by 17 right now. Inside it goes for Flagg. Another lob and another dunk for Kaman.
Got the tally going on the Kaman dunk parade here so far in this contest as the Blue Devils open it up 35-16.
He's got 3 dunks and a 3.
Top star for either side was Tyrese Proctor, though. Game high with 13 points, 4 of 5 overall, and 4 of 4 from deep.
Back up top, Proctor. Gets a screen from Maluach. He'll set the feet and hit again. Tyrese Proctor with his third 3. And for the first time today, a 20-point lead, 38-18, as we wheel under 7 minutes to play in the first half.
And the Blue Devils lead by 26 at the break, 54-28. The women's basketball team will debut in the NCAA tournament, playing their 27th big dance all time. 3rd straight under head coach Kara Lawson as they earned the 2 seed, taking on 15-seeded Lehigh tonight at 8 o'clock inside Cameron Indoor Stadium. Last time the Blue Devils were on the floor, they cut down the nets in Greensboro as ACC tournament champions. Lawson says it'll have no bearing on their quest of a national title.
It's not like we're going to start the game up 10-0 because we won the ACC title. Nobody cares. Nobody in this tournament cares that we won the conference tournament. So you just have to be prepared to play your best. And it was great. I'm not saying nobody cares to diminish the accomplishment. I think in the moment and in the immediate aftermath, we celebrated. And we were excited about it, as you should be. I do believe in celebrating in the moment. I don't believe you should all wait till the end of the year and then reflect on it. To me, celebrate it. If you have big moments in your life, and celebrate them in the moment. Tell people you appreciate them in the moment. But then at some point the moment passes and there's the next moment that you have to chase and that you have to pursue. And so that's what we're focused on, what's next. And what's next is to try and win a first round game and get to where there's only 32 teams left. And that's a big cut to go from 64 to 32. You've got to play well to make that cut. And, so that's kind of what we're focused on.
Again, 8 o'clock tonight, Duke and Lehigh, round 1 of the NCAA women's basketball tournament. Chris Edwards will have the call on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield just before 8. You can hear it on the Varsity Network app, as well as Sirius XM 138 or 206. Blue Devils 54 and the Mountaineers 28. Half number 2 coming up, but still John Roth will look at the numbers when we return in a moment here on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Blue Devil Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll return to Raleigh in 1 minute.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at Two Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at twomenandatruck.com.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Postseason coverage of Duke basketball is presented by Duke Stores. Have you checked out shop.duke.edu? Shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
Back in Raleigh, Duke up 54-28 at the half. Let's check the halftime numbers presented by Steel. Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Blue Devils played 9 guys. 9 guys scored, led by 13 from Proctor, 9 apiece from Flagg and Malawach. Overall, they shot 60%, 20 out of 33, including 7 out of 15 from three-point range, 13 assists on the 20 made field goals. Leading rebounder was Gongbo with 5. And we mentioned 13 assists against only 1 turnover, and that was near the end of the half. On the other side, the Mount was led by Keys off the bench, 3 threes for 9 points and 7 for Cordelia. Their top scorer in the year, Adebayo, held to just 1 shot out of 4 attempts. He did lead them in rebounding. They shot 37% and just 3 out of 14 from three-point range. So those are the main numbers from the first half. 20 more minutes coming your way from Raleigh. You're listening to Duke basketball from Learfield.
Hey Duke fans, we want you to choose different and choose fun with Hi-Chew, the immensely fruity, intensely chewy candy that leaves your mouth watering with over 30 true-to-life flavors. Hi-Chew is available in sticks, peg bags, stand-up pouches, and unwrapped bites for when you're on the go. Head to your local grocery or convenience store to grab a bag, or search hichew.com to find Hi-Chew candy near you. That's hi-chew.com.
Duke, Mount St. Mary's.
Jumps up from 3. Give it to him!
We'll have more from Raleigh after this local break.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Getting set to start the second half. The Blue Devils up by 26, 54-28 as we welcome back courtside inside the Lenovo Center. David Schmidt alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schaffsberger. And a quick reminder that this broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. The possession arrow was never utilized in the first half. The Blue Devils won the opening tap, so Mount St. Mary's will have it first. As we get going here in the second half, the Blue Devils tied their season high with 54 points in that first half, matching the mark they had up at the Garden when they put 54 up on Illinois. And the starters will be back out there. Sion James, Tyrese Proctor, Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, and the freshman out of Rumbek, South Sudan, Kaman Malawach, who had to sit for a decent chunk of that first half after picking up 2 fouls. He only played 7 minutes or so. Had 9 points in the 7 minutes he was on the floor. As Mount St. Mary's tries to get it inside, and immediately Kaman just picked up his third. That's about the only thing that's gone wrong today.
Yeah, he had 3 dunks and a 3-pointer in 7 minutes, and now has his third foul.
12 seconds into the second half. And inbounding on the right baseline, left side of the hoop. Mount St. Mary's will throw it all the way into backcourt for Adebayo. No race across midcourt, greeted by Cooper Flagg. Send it back up top for Hobbs. Trying to curl around on the left. Got a step to the left side of the paint. Rattled out on a jumper, and Sion James has the rebound. Across midcourt, they come quickly. To the left, Cooper. He's wide open. Can't hit a 3, though. Knipple, the offensive board. Back up top for Proctor. And he is feeling it from outside. 5 of 5 from deep on the afternoon. He's got 16 now.
He certainly has not cooled off.
Lipscomb fed into the pocket, slicing through, and missing a layup inside was Cordelia. The rebound from Malawach. Here's Cooper across midcourt. Feed it to James into the corner. Proctor back for Sion. He'll set the feed. Can't hit that 3. Long rebound for Hobbs, and here comes Mount St. Mary's down by 29. Hobbs whips it to the right. Baseline drive. Fed it inside for Cordelia for a dunk. Nice find from Irvin, and Cordelia's got 9.
And come on. Held up on challenging that dunk at the rim with having just picked up the third foul.
57-30. We wheel under 19 minutes to play. Cooper looking to the right. Fed Kyle on top of the key. Further to the right, and Tyrese Proctor. Looking inside, James catches in an awkward spot on the baseline. Goes opposite corner for Cooper. He'll take another 3, and this one's good. Cooper Flagg at double figures. He's got 12, and it's 60-30 with 18:23 to go.
Blue Devils made 7 threes in that first half and have already knocked down 2 here in the first 2 minutes of this half.
As Irvin lobs it up top for Cordelia, they're playing catch on the perimeter. It truly is pick your poison with this group for John Shire. So lethal in the paint with Malawach and Cooper and Gungba. So a lot of teams sag off and just give you the 3. Well, 9 of 19 today. Hobbs sends it inside. Cordelia slicing it on Knipple, couldn't finish. And Cooper's got the rebound. Right to left they come for James, the trailer on the right. Hesitation dribble into the paint, scoop it up, no. And the rebound for Mount St. Mary's and Hobbs. A little more than 2 minutes gone here in the second half. Duke by 30 here in Raleigh as Lipscomb tried to go cross court. It was kicked on the way by, so they'll leave the shot clock at 22 with 17:40 to go. What are you more impressed with, the offense or the defense?
Oh, wow. I'd say the defense right now because some of that has even led to some of this offense.
Mount St. Mary's 38% from the field and 3 of 14 from 3. That is 21.4%. As Adebayo fed it to Lipscomb, now up top for Hobbs and Cordelia. Right back to Hobbs, right side of the paint. Spinning, fed it to Cordelia at the free throw line. A handoff for Hobbs, bobbled it, got it, back for Cordelia in tight space, and a foul coming on Sion James reaching in. That'll be his second.
The other thing for fun I'm keeping up with is block shots between Cooper and Kaman. I know we've talked all year about Cooper leading the team in all those categories, including block shots. While he was out last weekend, Kaman took over the team lead in block shots. Cooper has tied him here with 2 in the first half.
That didn't take long.
Nope.
As Cordelia spins, underhand scoop for Hobbs. Cooper nearly a theft. He leads him in steals as well. Weaving on the right sideline, Hobbs got a step to the baseline, found a cutter, awkward scoop. Adebayo missed it, and Cooper's got the rebound. Racing across midcourt up by 30. What a bounce pass to Knipple, and he'll shoot 2. Like through the thimble of a needle. I don't know how that found its way through.
That was an unbelievable pass that time and very deliberate. He knew exactly where Khan was going to end up on that break, and he looked like he threw it right between 2 defenders who couldn't believe the ball was going between them.
The foul on Hobbs is his second, and as Khan heads to the free throw line, we remind you that Food Line is the proud sponsor of the Score to Get More program. For each free throw the Blue Devils make in today's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. And Knipple, a rare miss at the line. Just his 10th of the season on his 106th attempt.
96 for 106. Whew.
I bet the second one goes down. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with that.
Rattles it home. 6 for Kahn. He's been on a tear of late. They've needed him. His last 9, averaging better than 18 a game and shooting 44% from 3. Some of the other guys have carried a lot of load today, including Proctor, who's made all 5 of his threes. Hobbs bounces one up top, stolen by James, but he tripped going for the basketball, so Hobbs got it back. To the right corner it goes, trying to drive inside. Adebayo went for the punch and missed it. And Proctor out of there with the loose basketball. It's Knipple to the other end. Waiting, drives, kicks to the left. James is open. Can't hit a 3. Weak side rebound for Lipscomb, and here comes Mount St. Mary's. 61-30, Duke by 31 with 16.5 minutes to go. Hobbs curling left side of the paint, got inside, bobbled it, fades away over Malawach and hits. He's got 4.
Their second make of the half. 2 for 7.
Meanwhile, Cooper ready to attack to the left. James, he'll slice into the paint, bank it off the window, no. And the rebound for Adebayo, poked loose by James, but it came to Hobbs. So the Blue Devils have missed 5 of their first 7 here in the second half, including 5 threes they've taken already. But the defense digs one out. Knipple a theft. Now a chance to run. It's 3-on-1. It's Proctor back to Cooper. Goes up. Left it short. Looked like he was fouled. No whistle. Cordelia the other way. 4 minutes gone in the second half. Irvin blocked by James, and there is a whistle there as Sion picks up number 3. And free throws coming for Mount St. Mary's when we come back. 15:51 to go. The Blue Devils lead at 61-32.
Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. You can't control other motorists, but you can control how you operate your vehicle. Avoid distractions while driving, like texting or checking social media. Brought to you by Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/Go Duke.
For more information, find your local independent insurance agent at insure-agent.com.
Hey Duke fans, want to enhance your game day experience? Poetry Finance, official digital banking partner of Duke Athletics, is here to help. With Poetry, managing your finances is a breeze. Just download the Poetry app to discover how Poetry Finance can help you. Poetry Finance, write your own future. Start now. Financial tools for everyone. Let us help you get started at poetryfinance.com. That's poetryfinance.com.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on Steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Back here in Raleigh, 15:51 to go on this one. The Blue Devils comfortably ahead, 61-32. And today's game between Duke and Mount St. Mary's is presented by Duke Stores. Visit shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop. David Schumate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schassberger. Baylor won the first game today. Had to hold on for dear life down the stretch, but they got by Mississippi State. So if the Blue Devils advance, which it certainly looks like they are going to, they will match up with the Bears come Sunday. We won't know the tip time for a little while. There's only been 3 meetings all time between Duke and Baylor. Duke won them both, including a memorable one in the NCAA tournament. I'm sure you can remember that one, John Roth.
I think John Shire can remember that one too, on the way to the 2010 national championship, and then also the one that we both remember pretty well at the Garden just last season.
The Blue Devils won that one 78-70. Tyrese Proctor remembers it because he didn't get to play in it.
And I'm sure Jeremy Roach remembers it because he starred for the Blue Devils that day. Now he's on the Baylor team.
Yeah, Jeremy Roach, familiar face. And the Blue Devils, barring something shocking, we'll see him on Sunday as they lead. I know there's a long way to go with 15:51 to go, but it is 29. And the Blue Devils, as we look around, quick peek at the scoreboard, with North Carolina down 13 right now against Ole Miss midway through the first half. If that score holds, Duke could be the final team standing in the ACC, the only team to get to the second round. Clemson got beat yesterday by McNeese State. Ironic that we're here in the Lenovo Center. If you believe all the rumors is the first free throw for Irvin is good. The head coach from McNeese State will be here next year. Talking about Will Wade. And then, of course, Louisville. Hate to see Rain Smith get injured like he did in that game. They go out as Creighton hit a bunch of threes in that ball game. Second free throw for Irvin is good. 61-34. 15:50 to go. Proctor, Cooper, Flagg, Sion James, Con Knipple, and Kaman Malawach out there out of the timeout. Some token pressure for Mount St. Mary's, broken easily. Cooper went up for the layup and got it blocked. Adebayo got a piece. Irvin to the other end. Can't beat Proctor down the floor, though. The lead 27-61-34. 15 and a half minutes to go. Lipscomb threw it to the baseline. Adebayo high to claim it. 12 feet out in front of Malawach. Couple of ball fakes. Opts for the jumper and missed it. The rebound for Cooper Flagg. I don't think he wanted any part of going in on 7-2. Coming Adebayo and Malawach defending. Here's Knipple. Waits. A couple of jab steps. A crossover now. Got to the left block. Sends it back outside for Kaman. And now James off of the screen. Curling. Whistling a foul coming on Mount St. Mary's as he was grabbed on the way by. It'll be on Keys, and that's his second. What do you make of the ACCs? I mean, in some respects, it's not terribly surprising from what we've seen all season long, but a little bit shocking to see Clemson in particular and Louisville both bow out in the first round.
Yeah, that was tough, given they both were 18-2 during the regular season in the ACC, and certainly Louisville had a head of steam going up until they ran into the Blue Devils.
As Knipple takes the three on the left, that's no good, and the rebound for Keys and Mount St. Mary's. So Little was not shooting the ball as well here in the second half. They've missed their last 6, one of their last 8, and haven't scored in more than 2 minutes now.
I would have thought the Clemson defense would have been tough enough to carry them over anybody in the first round.
Speaking of defense, the theft for Knipple. 3-on-2. Con to the rack, lob it up. Kaman catches and taps it home all in one motion. He's into double figures with 11.
Couldn't quite get the catch for the dunk that time, but a good finish nonetheless.
Takes the lead back to 29, 63-34 with 14:28 to go. Hobbs trying to feed it inside, deflected by James. It came to Adebayo. His pass deflected out of bounds this time, as Cooper couldn't save it with 14 to shoot. Reinforcements coming. Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans, and Patrick Gungwa all into the ball game, and it'll be James, Malawach, and Knipple leaving. And Mount St. Mary's will go to their bench and bring Cordelia back in, and out comes Irvin. Now, this has been the case a lot of the season, John Roth, but when you look at the floor, even when the Blue Devils substitute, the size is staggering versus the opposition.
In all the metrics, they're considered either the first, second, or third tallest team in the country, depending on who breaks it down. So, yeah, they've got the size.
And that size nearly forced another turnover as Cooper got a hand on the inbounds pass, but it bounced along the left sideline. So Mount St. Mary's will do it again with 13 to shoot. This time in for Lipscomb at midcourt. Greeted by Foster, wants to drive him. Got into the paint, put it up, and Gungwa got a hand on it after it hit the backboard. So that'll be a goaltend and make it 63-36 with 14:14 to go. As Lipscomb now has 6 in the ballgame. And now a theft in backcourt. Keys to take away. Fed it back into the arms of Adebayo, who lays it in. So he's got 4. Mount St. Mary's fighting hard, and it's 63-38. They're back within 25 with 14 minutes to go. And the head coach of the Blue Devils going to let him play through it now. Over to the left, it's Proctor. Off of the screen, set by Cooper. Lob it to him, catches down low. A double team comes. Cooper spins, going to work in the post. Steps through, kept the pivot foot, and scored. Wow. And he's got 14. 65-38.
I think a lot of people were faked out by his fake and thought he might have lifted the pivot foot, but you're right. He kept it on the ground through all that.
13:35 to go. He's 6'9", got plenty of length and able to keep the tippy toes on the ground. As Lipscomb lobs it up top for Cordelia. And waiting, hands it to Hobbs. Fed it inside to Cordelia. The pick and roll and a kick to the right corner for a 3 that is good. Out of the arms of Arlandis Keys. He's got 12. That's what he's been averaging in the postseason. And it's 65-41 with 13:08 to go.
Their first 3 of this half.
As the Blue Devils send it to Cooper Flagg at the free throw line. Dribbles out, fed it to Proctor. He'll take a 3 up top. That won't go. The rebound for Hobbs. Mount St. Mary's has actually outscored Duke since the break, 13-11. As they feed it down the left baseline, Cordelia blocked from behind. Gungwa got a piece. Cordelia got it back inside. On his knees, though. Needs some help. Threw it back up top into the arms of Hobbs. 12:40 to go. Hobbs weaving through on the left. He'll take a 3. Too strong. And this time, Gungwa has the rebound. A long hit ahead for Foster on the left. He'll set the feed. and hit a three. Caleb with his second three of the ball game. He's got 9 now. And maybe that'll settle things down with the Blue Devils up 68-41 as we approach 12 minutes to play. Keys and Adebayo now. Over to the left, into the arms of Lipscomb. 10 to shoot. Sends it to the right. Facing up is Hobbs. Drifts closer. Waits at the elbow. Fed it. Threw it off the legs of Cordelia, and it ricochets into the arms of Gungba. Another turnover for Mount St. Mary's, their 9th. Blue Devils only have 2 so far. Here's Evans up top. A clean look. Wouldn't go. Long rebound. Chased down by Cooper in the corner. Fed it to Proctor. Back to Cooper. Now Tyrese again. Hits a three. He had 6 on Saturday night. He's got 6 again. 19 points in the lead, back to 30. Well, when you have a new career high, why not match it, right? Maybe set a new one. Still 11:34 to go. Lipscomb on the baseline. Rises up off the underside of the backboard. And Gungba has the rebound. Cooper across midcourt. Weaving through traffic. Fed it to Gungba. Deflected. Came to Foster. He'll peel out with 20 to shoot. Cooper now. Uh-oh. Proctor's open. It's too strong. And the rebound for Hobbs. You feel like everyone's going in.
Yeah, you do.
6 out of 8 now from outside. Hobbs will backpedal as we approach 11 minutes to play. Evans there defensively. Goes to the left. He'll take a 3 over Gungba. Too strong. The rebound for Cooper. Boy, he's had some nice rebounds tonight. 7 now for the ball game. He'll lead the break into the paint. Lob it to Gungba. And he'll dunk it down. And Mount St. Mary's calls for time. It'll extend to a full. We'll take it as well. 10:53 to go. Duke rolling up 32.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
Duke plays here.
Flying in, reverses it, up and in for 2.
This is the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. And that ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Here in Raleigh, 10:53 to go in this one. The Blue Devils comfortably ahead, 73-41. And be sure to catch Duke All Access with head coach Sean Shire. Comes your way Sundays at noon on ABC 11. And don't forget the ABC 11 mobile app is your ticket to Duke basketball highlights and the latest from the First Alert forecast. Just tap the app and make it your own from ABC 11. Eyewitness News. David Schmidt alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schaffsberger. As the Blue Devils look to go to 7-2 all time in Raleigh in the NCAA tournament. In the 60s, they were here in 64 and 66, regional semifinals and finals.
Different building.
Yep.
Reynolds Coliseum back then.
And then in 79, they fell in the second round of this building. In 2004, won both of their games in the first and second round. Fell here in 2014. John Shire was asked about that game and this building. The Blue Devils obviously on the road a lot, playing NC State in this building. I thought it was interesting. He was asked towards the tail end of his press conference yesterday about the start to this run in the NCAA tournament, getting underway underneath the banner of the Final Four that the Blue Devils were denied last year by NC State in Dallas. And he kind of had a wry smile and said he hadn't thought about it in that context yet. But you know it served as a motivating factor for the team this year, particularly for the coaching staff, as they built this roster around Cooper Flagg to compete for championship, and boy, are they off to a good start today. Hobbs into the plate. Oh, yeah, they've got Gungba too. Nice block as he sends it out of bounds.
Yeah, it was interesting last year. He started, really focusing on this season the day after that loss to NC State. It happened to be April 1st. It looks like we're going to have a timeout, so we'll bring this back up later.
Oh, the dreaded double media timeout. 10:43 to go. We step aside with the Blue Devils up 73-41.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Blue Devil Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
FanDuel Sports Network is your new home for your home teams.
That's what I'm talking about!
Watch all the big hits.
Oh, mercy!
Big shots.
What a dime!
Big goals.
He scores!
All in one place.
Are you kidding me?
For coverage of Blue Devils athletics, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets, visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com today and watch all season long.
We are back in Raleigh, first round of the NCAA East Regional, and the Blue Devils are comfortably in front of Mount St. Mary's 73-41 in the 1 versus 16 game. Let's check out our mid-game stats. They are presented by Steel. Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. And the Blue Devils have 3 guys scoring in double figures right now. Proctor leading the way with 19 on 6 3-pointers, which is exactly what he did in the ACC championship game last Saturday. 14 for Cooper Flagg, along with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. And then Kaman Malawach with 11 so far on perfect 5 for 5 shooting. The team as a whole hitting 39% in this half and 4 out of 11 from 3. On the other side, Mount St. Mary's hitting just 31% in the half, 5 out of 16 with 1 3. They do have a guy in double figures, Keys. He's got 12 points, all of those off of 3-point shots. Blue Devils edging the Mount and rebounding 30-27. But one of the big things today for the Blue Devils, David, is Duke has certainly taken care of the basketball. Only 2 turnovers total here in about 30 minutes of play. And that's been something that the Mount has not been able to take advantage of any Duke mistakes.
They're having a hard time getting it in, and they're going to get bailed out on a whistle as Gillis is going to pick up his first foul. By the way, Darren Harris is out there for the first time, the freshman out of Herndon, Virginia. And it'll be Mount St. Mary's inbounding on the right baseline. By the way, they have a couple of nicknames, the Mount and the Mountaineers. I think the Mount's pretty cool. I don't know why you hate the Mountaineers. Things you talk about when it's 73-41. Here's Hobbs off of a screen. Probing, backpedaling, can't shoot. Needs some help. In a world of trouble, finally bounced it over to the left and Lipscomb. 5 on the timer. Lipscomb top of the key with Evans defending. Over to the right it goes, and Hobbs bobbled it, lost it, got it back. 1 to shoot, just flings one up. It ricocheted off the rim, and Harris chased down the rebound. Darren able to bounce it for Caleb, and here they come across midcourt. Foster, Harris, Evans, Gillis, and Malawach out there. I wonder for some of the regular starters, the afternoon is over with. Midway through the second half, as Gillis on the left will take a 3. A little bit short off the front of the rim. I imagine Kaman's only out there because he only played 7 minutes in the first half. Just trying to get a sweat going.
Yeah, exactly.
Hobbs back up top. Adebayo will take a 3. That's way offline. The rebound for Gillis. 9:45 to go. 73-41. Gillis on the right. Another clean look. and this one wouldn't go. Come on, fights for the rebound. He's got it. Knocked out of his hands, though. It'll be Blue Devil basketball as it went over the baseline to our left with 18 to shoot.
Blue Devils at 11 in three-point shooting so far this afternoon. Overall, 39%.
As Foster waiting to get it in. Lobs it out near midcourt, and Gillis will chase it down. Plenty of time as he brings it across, leaves it for Caleb. Now down to 10 to shoot as Malawach catches. Right back to Foster off of the screen set by Kamon. He's got a clean look up top, and Caleb hits again. His third three, and he's into double figures for the 8th time this season.
Caleb with 12 points now.
76-41. 9:12 to go. On the left, Keys, defended by Harris. Spinning back up top for Lipscomb. And now into the arms of Adebayo. Underhand shovel pass for Hobbs. That three is way offline left. Ricocheted off the backboard into the arms of Malawach. And now Caleb across midcourt. Waiting. Up top, Evans. Drifts to the left, looking for space. Fed it to Malawach. Kamon. Sends it further to left, and Harris off of a Malawach screen. Into the paint. Spins. Goes up. And wouldn't get the roll. Rebound fought for. Gillis has it. Then he lost it. And now out of there with it is Hobbs. 8.5 minutes to go. The outcome long since decided with Blue Devils up by 35. Hobbs underneath the hoop, trying to feed it back up top, deflected by Foster, and now Lipscomb has it again. Weaves to the left. Waiting, back up top, Adebayo will take a three. No, and the rebound for Malawach. They are now 4 of 20 from outside and 1 of 6 here in the second half.
Adebayo is not really their prime three-point shooter.
Gillis drifts to the left. He is a shooter. And that one didn't get the roll. Evans has an offensive rebound. Back up, short, trying to get his own rebound. Still might. And able to rip it away is Adebayo. Blue Devils 12 of 30 from 3, 5 of 15 since the break. Is on the left. Lipscomb, a ball fake on Evans. Penetrates. Nice little scoop pass for Cordelia. Spinning on Malawach, and he left it short. Kamon, another rebound. His 5th of the ball game. And with 7:40 to go, a chance to add to a 35-point lead. And a timeout taken by the head coach of the Blue Devils. Will extend to a full. We'll take it as well. 7:36 to go in Raleigh. Duke up 76-41.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke!
And the crowd loves that.
Follow the Blue Devils on and off the hardwood at Duke MBB. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and more. This is Duke basketball from Learfield.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Count on Sharp for state-of-the-art office equipment. Sharp, changing the way companies do business. John Roth, I'm projecting Duke into the second round at this point. They will be now 33-3 all-time in the opening round. 15-0 as a 1 seed.
So you're like the Associated Press calling an election here before it's all the votes are in. But yes,
are you in agreement? I should have done a straw poll.
I think you're right.
Okay.
I do want to go back to one thing we were starting to talk about a moment ago, and that's John Shire really turned his full attention to this year's team and roster last year, the day after the loss to NC State on April 1st. And, of course, he knew he had a great freshman recruiting class coming in. And he didn't know that he was going to lose 7 guys from last year's roster, the transfer portal, but he knew he was going to lose a couple key players in Filipowski and Jared McCain. But one of the things he knew once those players started to transfer away is that he needed to had a couple good pieces to add to that freshman class. And he went looking in the portal and found guys like Malik Brown and Sion James and Mason Gillis, and all 3 of those guys have been just crucial adds to this team with the veteran experience they brought, tournament experience in the case of Gillis, great defense in the case of Malik Brown. So 3 really thoughtful, strategic adds to that great freshman class coming in really helped him shape this roster last summer.
As Gungba hands it off the inbound on the right baseline. Backing down on Cordelia, takes him into the post, banks it home, counted it a foul. Gungba showing some skill inside. He's got 8 with a free throw coming as well as Cordelia picks up number 3. Yeah, I mean, so much so he was so locked in, he had to tell his wife Marcel, almost interrupted a vacation. Fortunately, they made their way to Mexico, and he did say he worked a lot of the time he was there, and look at the roster they put together. Never good to call home and say vacation might be in trouble. It's a free throw for Gungba is good. I also think it's worth noting the vacation happened.
yeah.
7:20 to go.
Roster and vacation, both accomplished.
Keys waits, sends it over to the right in Hobbs. Drives to the baseline, tried to feed it in the pocket. It was kicked, they say, by the Blue Devils, so reset the shot clock to 20. As it's Caleb Foster, Isaiah Evans, Darren Harris, Mason Gillis, and Patrick Gungba. I feel comfortable in saying the starters are likely done. The next man off the bench is either going to be wearing number 13, 20, or 55.
Yes.
Talking about Sheffield, Begovic, Hubbard, maybe in 52, Stanley Borden today. There will be no number 6 on the floor. As in the right corner, Keys is going to take a 3 from Mount St. Mary's, miss it, and the rebound for Gillis. Malik Brown. You know, John Shire said they're hopeful here in the postseason, but he is dressed on the bench. But it's going to be a longer process for him working his way back.
I think the postseason will have to go a while.
As Harris tries the lob inside, deflected out of bounds by Mount St. Mary's as 2 guys crash into each other. And with 6:43 to go, the Bulls inbound on the left baseline, left side of the hoop. As Patrick Haig, the sophomore at Altoona, Pennsylvania, comes back in for Mount St. Mary's. With the margin, you imagine Donnie Lynn's going to have the opportunity to get some guys into the game that normally wouldn't play for them, their experience in the NCAA tournament. As Foster set to inbound, does for Evans. 4 in double figures right now. Caleb, one of them. He's got on the left baseline to the right. Harris sets the feed and hits a 3. Got run into. They let the contact go, but Darren Harris has 3-pointer number 5 on the season. And you look up, they're doubling him up again. It's 82-41 with 6:23 to go.
Probably should have been a 4-point play opportunity.
Lipscomb for Cordelia, free throw line jumper. Awkward looking release, didn't get the roll. Gungba has it on the rebounding action. Long hit ahead for Harris. A touch pass to the left corner for Evans. Can't hit a 3. Isaiah, being the only one who hasn't hit from outside today. Missed his 5 3-point attempts. Maybe he's saving them for Sunday as Cordelia gets one down low. Blocked by Gungba. Cordelia got it back. Lobs it back up top for Keys. Under 6 minutes to play now. Keys weaving through some traffic. Knocked loose by Caleb, taken away. 2-on-1 with Harris. He'll drive, step through, knocked out of bounds, they say cleanly by Lipscomb with 5:46 to go. And number 20 is the next off the bench. Neil Begovic, the graduate student out of San Francisco. If you haven't seen it, you got to go check him out on YouTube, the Duke MTV platforms. He was doing some interviews in the locker room yesterday with the guys, talking to Kamal Malawach. Malawach has aspirations down the road for having a pet lion. Malawach and Cooper got in an argument about what constitutes fishing. It was high quality stuff during media day yesterday.
Have to hit that up.
As Begovic hands it off for Caleb. Off of a screen set by Neal. Caleb into the paint, kicks to the right. Harris bobbled it, couldn't shoot. Instead, he'll drive closer. 13 on the timer. And now Isaiah again. Sizing up Haig, drives him, put it up, and scored. Isaiah Evans takes it inside. He's got 4, and it's 84-41. And the Blue Devils have scored the last 19 over the last 7 minutes.
And Evans may be 0 for 5 from 3, but he's 2 for 3 from 2.
Haig for Adebayo, who lost it, but a foul is going to be called on Gillis on a bump. That'll be the 5th on the team with 5:11 to go. And just to reiterate, yes, I did say 19-0 over the last 7:20. Mount St. Mary's has missed their last 13 from the field. They don't have a point in more than 8 minutes.
Well, you know, if the Blue Devils could get one more point here, it would create the largest run they've had all season.
And he's looking to get it in. Lipscomb And you hear the Spencer Hubbard chat behind us is stepping through Cordelia. Can't score over Harris. Back outside for Haig, and a rainbow three wouldn't go. Caleb got a hand on the rebound, but it came out to Keys. He'll drive in on Foster, missed the layup. Begovic trying to get the board. Keys came from out of bounds, able to save it for Cordelia. Over to the left, and Lipscomb, 10 to shoot. Lipscomb trying to drive Evans. Here's a lob and a punch. That ends the run for Adebayo.
So the 19-0 run matches the longest run of the season, and that run happened to come against the team that usually plays in this building when Duke had a 19-0 run against NC State at Cameron.
84-43, 4.5 minutes to go. Evans on the left baseline will take a jumper and didn't get the roll. Cordelia the rebound. Just waiting on the final margin now. With the Blue Devils up by 41, on to the second round to take on Baylor. As Keys will take a three on the left, miss it badly short, and the rebound for Harris. Darren across midcourt. Leaves it for Isaiah. Back to the right. Harris will launch. And it wouldn't go. Begovic fighting for the rebound. Tapped it out, but it came to Haig for Mount St. Mary's. And the head coach of the Blue Devils looks down the bench and tells Spencer to take his warm-up off. And you see a smile for John Shire as the building goes crazy as Spencer goes to check in. Meanwhile, here's Lipscomb at the top of the key. Also, Cameron Sheffield's coming in. Lipscomb crossing over, steps back, can't shoot. To the corner it goes for Keys, and he hits a three. He's had a nice afternoon. He's got 15. And a timeout taken by Mount St. Mary's. We'll take it as well. 3:44 to go. The Blue Devils up 84-46.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Tom Kelly's carbon fiber mountain bike. Because more than riding his carbon fiber mountain bike, Tom loves telling people about his carbon fiber mountain bike. Friends, family, even a local barista knows about his carbon fiber mountain bike. And that's why Tom's carbon fiber mountain bike, if you haven't heard about it, is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's that time of year again. My schedule is packed with bracket-busting, three-point shooting, non-stop basketball action. I don't want to miss a second of it. That's why I go for a 5-hour energy shot. They're perfect for my days packed with back-to-back games or when my favorite team's playing late. 5-hour energy keeps me going during the broadcast and the next morning when I need to get myself up and to work. Visit 5hourenergy.com for great deals and to stock up before tip-off.
Love about spring? It's the season of change, and that means it's time for a closet refresh. Enter Kohl's. With the extra 15% off they have going on, I saved on the latest styles for my entire family, like a cute dress for myself, linen shorts for my husband, and spring jackets for my kids. Just add sunshine and we're set. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 15% offer ends March 23rd. See store or kohls.com for details.
Back here in Raleigh, 3:44 to go in this one, 84-46 our score. And Blue Devil Basketball is brought to you in part by Poetry Finance. Write your own future with poetry. Poetry Finance, official online banking partner of Duke Athletics. So Spencer Hubbard's going to get into the ball game now, the graduate student out of Los Angeles. We'll also see Cameron Sheffield, graduate student out of Alpharetta, Georgia, grad transfer from Rice. And John Shire is able to empty out his bench as the Blue Devils took care of business early in this one, jumped out to a double-digit lead, 13-2, and have never really looked back, never really threatened, as you would expect in this matchup, leading by 38 right now, 84-46, and it does give us a chance to say our thanks to Harris Teeter, proud partner of Duke Basketball. Harris Teeter, where Blue Devil fans shop for groceries. So the teams will break the huddle, 3:44 to go. There's so many things that make the NCAA tournament special, and it's been interesting to learn about Mount St. Mary's. We talk about Donnie Linden, his first year as the head coach at Mount St. Mary's. Had only been an assistant before he got there, was the assistant at UNC Greensboro from 2021 to 2024. Also spent some time at Radford from 2016 to 2021. Also spent some time at Mount St. Mary's before that. But he developed a tradition this year in the MAAC tournament, MAAC conference tournament, I should say, where his son Silas would join him for the press conference. 9 years old, a third grader. And he was hilarious to watch at the first four post-game press conference out there. People asking questions for Silas, and he was very stoic like a coach, taking it seriously. There's so many little nuggets like that you see along this journey to San Antonio. And you hear the roar as Spencer Hubbard brings it across midcourt. Well, they got 3.5 minutes to try to find 55 a bucket. Over to the right it goes. Sheffield and now Begovic. Off a curl, Gillis on the right side, nearly lost it, able to collect, plenty of time, 13 to shoot. Harris has it now in the corner. Hubbard, a ball fake and a drive into the paint. Up top it comes for Begovic, and he hits a three. And the bench goes absolutely crazy.
Look at that.
Everybody doing Isaiah Evans' three-point celebration where you put 3 fingers to your face. 87-46 with 3:10 to go. On the left, and as Mount St. Mary's has started to empty out their bench, Begovic nearly a theft. Kebe out there for the first time. Sends it up top for Keys, and now Dredd over to the left. Kebe is going to take a three. A line drive that's short, and the rebound for Harris. And Hubbard across midcourt. 2:50 to go. Harris has it now. Penetrates, jumps up from 17 and hits. Nice looking stroke for Darren Harris. He's got 5. 89-46. I'll tell you in the break, John Roth, the largest margin was 47.
In the tournament?
In the tournament, I think it was. 2:33 to go. Keys lobs it into the post. The catch underneath by Dredd. Hesitates. Kicks to the corner. Haig a three on the left. Short. Begovic tapped the rebound. Came out. Tapped by Harris. A chance to run. See if he goes for the dunk. The right-handed punch. Harris cranks the hammer. And the lead grows to 45.
Bench definitely anticipating that. They all rose as he was coming down the floor to see if he would do it.
91-46. 2:08 to go. Dredd with Hubbard playing post defense, sitting back outside. Wilson now crossing over on Gillis, drives him, fell down, threw it off the underside of the backboard, and going to get bailed out on a foul. And the foul will be on Mason, his third. I'm not quite sure about that, but whatever. It's 91-46 with 1:59 to go. Give a guy for Mount St. Mary's and Trey Wilson, a freshman out of Miramar, Florida, a chance to maybe make a free throw here in the NCAA tournament.
Mason Gillis in his, by the way, 12th NCAA tournament game. We've talked about how little experience most people on this team have in the event. He's played 12 games in it, 11, of course, with Purdue, and this first one with the Blue Devils.
As the first free throw for Wilson is no good. And John Roth, you think about the way this game has gone. Obviously, Blue Devils in complete control, but it speaks to their mentality. Over the last 10.5 minutes, they've outscored the Mount 26-5. Mount St. Mary's is 2 of their last 20 from the field, and Duke is up by 45. You'd think the foot would come off the pedal, but no.
When they got up by 30, they didn't just say, okay, we're coasting home now. We're still going to play basketball the way we want to play basketball for the whole 40.
Wilson makes the second free throw, 91-47, 1:53 to go. Gillis looking to the left, feeds Begovic. And Hubbard's got it now. Begovic sets the screen. Spencer steps back, sends it to the right, and Harris back for Spencer. Thought about it. Instead, he'll drive. Got inside, scoops it to the right. Sheffield up top. Harris will take a three. No, the rebound for Begovic tapped out and claimed by Mount St. Mary's. 90 seconds to go now. Kebe on the right sideline. Comes off of a screen with 20 to shoot. Nearly lost it, he did. Through the legs of Sheffield into the arms of Begovic. And Harris across midcourt. Into the arms of Spencer Hubbard. Begovic trying to set a ball screen. Spencer runs away from it. Out to the center circle with 70 seconds to go. Turns down the screen, dribbles to the right, dancing with Haig. Spins, waits, back outside Gillis to the corner. Sheffield a three. Air ball. Begovic fouled on the rebounding action. Just the fourth foul on Mount St. Mary's, so no free throws yet as Wilson picks up his first, but it does give us a chance to tell you that Blue Devil basketball is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Yeah, not many trips to the free throw line here in this second half. A total of 7 between the two teams.
As Hubbard is set to inbound for Begovic. Back for Hubbard in the corner. They want him to shoot it. He drifts up top. Sizing it up. Drives, whistling a foul. A reach in for Dredd. Still nowhere near the bonus. And now the couple fans saying they want Cooper Flagg to come. That is not happening. With 54.1 to go. Really trying to get Cooper to look at him. He's not, by the way. As Spencer bounces it in for Begovic. Back for Spencer. A baseline drive. Scoop it up and in. The finger roll from 55. And the lead grows to 93-47. A 46-point cushion with 45 seconds to go. 40 seconds now. See if Dredd and company fire before the shot clock gets under 30. It's Wilson on the drive on Gillis. Step through, put it up, and hit with 33 seconds to go. So they'll get an opportunity to shoot with sitting at 93-49. 3 seconds the differential shot clock to game clock. And John Shire calling out a play. Let's see. Here's a screen from Begovic. Hubbard on the left for three. Oh, around and out. That's not right. Shot clock off. On the left, Dredd. Air ball out of bounds, and that'll do it. With 10.1 to go and Duke up 93-49.
They will not shoot in 10 seconds.
Another game where they never trailed. And the NCAA tournament is off to the start they hoped for. In some respects, the start you would expect. Complete and total domination. 93-49 the final score. As the Blue Devils breeze through to the second round, they'll take on Baylor on Sunday in the NCAA tournament here in Raleigh. In the end, there were 4 in double figures led by Tyrese Proctor. He tied his career high with 6 3-pointers, 6 of 8 from deep. He was joined in double figures by Cooper Flagg, who had 14. Caleb Foster had 12, and Kaman Malowacz had 11. The leading rebounders, it was Patrick Gungba. He had 8 to go along with his 9 points, and leading the way with assists was Tyrese Proctor with 5. As the Blue Devils took care of business, as you would expect, 93-49, and they get the 9 seed here in the East Region in Raleigh come Sunday. We'll wait for the tip time. We'll find out a little bit later on this evening as the Blue Devils get set to take on Baylor, and they match up with Jeremy Roach and company.